G'day guys, Vindicator Jones here. Welcome to our YouTubers podcast episode here with all guests, Obsidian Ant, Briedis, Chaos Wulff, and maybe Troa might drop in, but thanks for coming, guys.
It's all right. We don't know whether the Schrodinger's command is going to turn up yet or not.
Yeah, so if you
Hello, everyone.
Oh yes, and hello. I forgot to say that. So, how is everybody doing?
We've all had years. We briefly talked us before. Has happens ever since. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things. How's everybody feeling about it?
A lot of complaining.
A lot of.
Oh hell yes. So, who do you want to start off the ball rolling with? I have a feeling Kornelius has a lot to say on this matter.
I think so. Let's start off with.
I have, but should I say anything at all?
Well, you are here for your opinion.
What's the topic? What's the first topic?
That's a good question. What's the?
There are engineers, AI, interdictions. What else? Materials, probably storage space. Which one you want to start?
I think the storage space is going to be a little bit later down the line, potentially. Let's start off with the engineers, because that's pretty much the title of the update, I think.
I was actually, I wanted to make a review about engineers, but then Frontier changed something, and then again changed something, and now it feels kind of a little bit too early to make a conclusion video about engineers. So.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things we really need to say as well. There should really be a disclaimer at the beginning of this saying that Frontier have already acknowledged that they're going to be making massive changes. Well, not necessarily massive changes, but significant changes to the engineers and how the
if they
RNG
would
system
think
works.
One step ahead and give us module storage when they should have,
But I think
there
that
would not be. Yeah,
that is coming though. Is that?
It
Yes,
is coming, of course.
It's coming in season 2 at some point. Yes,
Yeah.
we don't know
But
when.
you all have trouble with commodity storage. Nobody actually said that there will be any. How do you feel about
module
lack
storage,
of
commodity
storage?
That honestly doesn't really bother me all that much. I generally jump from on my main account at least, I generally jump from one ship with cargo racks to another ship with cargo racks. So I've always got storage and it always swaps over from one ship to the next. It's very
especially
rare
Vulture has cargo racks.
I don't jump around on the Vulture all that much, apart from Commander Ducky.
Yeah. The fun part, the first advice would be, my advice to anyone who plays engineers would be to change all your ships and buy cargo racks.
Yeah, well, you need it for certain things at least.
Yeah, but then you can only put maybe 6 cargo rack certain shit. End up having. Especially if you.
Don't you find though that if you're carrying around cargo like that all the time, it makes problems with interdictions?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You want to go to a res site or something like that, and you're carrying cargo there. You're causing a lot of problems for yourself.
Well, if I'm carrying cargo like that, I'm generally on a engineer's run. I try not to kind of overstock on things that I don't need for what I'm currently working on. I know that's kind of easier said than done in many cases, but that's just how I like to play the game. And I am kind of trying to split my time between 3 separate accounts, so I'm not really focusing on just grinding up engineers on one account. So I'm just letting it happen as kind of naturally as I can, while still trying to get what I want.
I definitely think that playing in a natural way would certainly help things. I think partly a lot of people have said that's the way the engineers has been designed.
Yeah, it does seem that
myself, but don't know if the way all the gameplay is balanced at the moment really helps with that. But it seems to be
bugs me most. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Again. Yeah, this is the Elite is built like an open world space sim. Yeah, but same time, this limit is forcing players to go and do this, because if they don't, they hit the limit very quickly and they can't. I mean, I can't go when I want to res site. I need to go there only if I need these materials because of the limit. And same goes for driving around in SRVs or mining. You can't do what you like anymore if you want to upgrade. You have to consider the limit all the time.
Or you just have to dump. That's what I'm having to do, is dump them.
Yes.
And if
Or you have to dump.
Yeah, I dump them, and if I can go buy them for whatever I need, I try and go buy them. At the point, it's pointless. At this moment in time, it's pointless hoarding them if you want to fly other ships.
Aye, well, especially as Josh Hill says, if an engineer's mod has requirements for commodities, it makes it a bit annoying. And yes, I can understand this, as he's kind of saying, agreeing with both Vindicator and Kornelius there. I mean, I do think that having certain things as commodities can be a little bit aggravating. I agree that we should be able to buy them, but I do think that they shouldn't really go into our cargo racks. They should just go into our material storage, because then it would be easier to modify smaller ships, because that's the kind of the bane of the existence at the moment, is trying to modify smaller ships. I mean, on the beta, it was a lot easier with fish.
Yeah. I've seen a few suggestions about suggesting that the commodities like that, and perhaps materials to a degree, rather than being stored en masse, either in our ship or in our inventory, could just be donated like one by one to the engineer that we want to upgrade with. So they just hold them for us until we're ready to do the upgrade.
That's what I was
thinking.
Engineering.
I had the idea about storing at engineer place materials, like 100 at each engineer. You know what you need there, you just go and store. That will also
would be
problems.
Useful, in fact.
But the fun part about commodities, there are people with 2 accounts. You know what they are doing? They are just giving cargo to other account.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you get storage space. Maybe Frontier wants us to buy a second account.
Yeah,
well, I have 3, and none of them are even in the same system.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my subscribers was, one of the Wolfpack members was talking about how it would be nice to have potentially one station somewhere. Maybe it be in a permit system similar to like Sol or even Founders World, where you can actually go and instead of actually going to mine the materials or finding them anywhere, you could just go and have like a big player-driven economy market where you could just mine materials. If you get the really rare ones, you could sell them off at this thing, like some kind of trade hub. That'd be an interesting idea.
That's how
but
usually works, but not in Elite.
Yes.
They will never allow player markets. But you know what's the best idea, not idea, but the best way to make this galaxy full of life, is to give us these asteroid bases and allow us to be in full control. Set prices, defend them, hire NPCs to defend them. So if we need something, we can set a price, and if somebody comes, but that will never happen, sadly.
I wouldn't say never, because Frontier is nothing if not... I'll be honest, Frontier is one of the more accommodating developers I've ever had the pleasure of, well, knowing, really. I'd say knowing. That's the first developers I've ever really had any decent contact with.
Well, I think for the past... Oh, hang on, sorry. Sorry, keep going without me.
Are you okay there?
You have trouble with connection or what?
Sorry, that's better. Sorry, I was having another problem with my mic still. But let's face it, though, that the past few weeks, they sort of like been at least listening to the community about changes, and especially with the new ability of being able to find materials.
What about AI?
Yeah, I know. I knew you'd bring that up. Not happy about that. Very, very unhappy about the AI. But I think that's part of a bigger problem, which I will touch upon a bit later.
Yeah, well, let's stick with the engineers for the moment. We can then move on after. I think it's best to keep things to concisely as much as we can, rather than flitting from one topic to the next. But with the engineers, we're also getting the ability. Well, we've got the ability now to ask favors of the engineers, and it's really only important for those that offer weapon upgrades. So, like Todd the Blaster McQueen, the Dweller, and several others. But what I find is that I think it's a little bit potentially too harsh that the negative side effects for it, because instead of because I originally thought that every time you asked for a favor, you'd like lose so much percentage of your ranking with them. But instead, you actually lose a flat 2 grades of upgrade potential with them. So if you manage to get yourself all the way up to grade 5 and you ask for a favor, you'll be knocked straight down to grade 3. And to me, that feels like a bit too much of a negative. But I don't know, that might just be me. But a lot of these guys, you can actually go and get your reputation back up with them, especially with Todd the Blaster McQuinn, with just doing bounty hunting and so on. So it's not as much of an issue as I first thought it would be.
But
So
same
with
with the ones you can sell exploration data to, that doesn't take too long.
No,
well, the ones that sell
yeah.
exploration don't have...
Exploration takes 15 million for grade 5 only, from 4 to 5.
15 or 5. I thought it was 5.
15 million.
That's 5.
I saw 2.5 the other day and got 50% away from grade 4 to grade 5.
Yeah.
Unless it's changed.
It's not that much.
That was about a week or so ago, a week and a half ago.
I dropped in quite a few million, and I went up from like 3 to 4.5 pretty quickly. So,
yeah, well, that's the plan that I've got for my newest account, actually, Commander Mal Reynolds. He's going to be going out exploring in the near future. He's going off and going to have a look at a couple of nebulae, come back, go and drop into one of the engineers that does jump drives, and then basically after he's out of his hauler, going to get him a Diamondback Explorer, call it Serenity, and just mod it up for jump range, and then go off for a longer trip. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, the issue here is these favor systems are only really working for engineers that do weapons. So like I said, Todd the Blaster McQuinn, who else? The Dweller. We also get Brew Tarquin. Who else?
So how do we
Liz
feel,
Ryder.
How do we feel
and so
about
on.
the current state of range and the changes that they are considering implementing? I think, is it next month they're going to do the update?
Potentially. As it stands at the moment, I think the secondary effects they're a little bit too drastic sometimes. With Commander on my main account, Commander Chaos Wulff, I'm having no issues whatsoever. But Ducky is having no picnic with it whatsoever. Those secondary effects have been crippling her. We went for a class 3 dirty drive, a class 3 clean drive tuning, and the secondary effect was minus 15% to maneuverability. So that was horrendous. It took us into the red zone. So it was into the negative numbers of maneuverability. It was horrendous.
Yeah, I've had some bad.
What do you mean minus 15 maneuverability?
Basically the
optimal multiplier.
Yes.
Or optimal mass.
I don't remember which one it was. I'd have to go back and watch the video.
It's only in plus. You can't get it minus. Optimal mass, probably.
The secondary effect, whichever one it was, it ended up being that my ship was a lot more sluggish and did not go as fast.
Never seen that. That big for grade 3.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's on YouTube. It's on my episode 18 of Zero to Hero. I was not very happy with it, but I did get a massive plus in the heat efficiency of this one. So I only applied it because I was curious to see how good the heat efficiency got. And then
normally you can't get. I made, I don't know, 500 more upgrades and like 100 grade 5 upgrades. Yeah, you will not get it first time mostly. You can, and there are modules which are much easier to upgrade than others. Weapons actually are worst. That's why I'm really glad they added these favor system, because for me, it's very easy to get what I want. Very easy. Before that, I could not have it. It just was insane. And there are modules which are very easy to upgrade, actually, like framesheet drive, weapon capacitor, power distributor, and such stuff. You can actually, they always give you close to maximum, more or less. If you roll 10 times, you will have 6-7 very good ones. So if you roll once, you can't expect to be good or bad.
Oh, no, I don't doubt this.
But
the main issue I have is I have several accounts and trying to focus on upgrading certain things on several accounts. As well as having full-time jobs and everything else. Really, it's not time practical for the amount of time that I'd have to put into it. But Zumi here actually does agree that 2 grades is a little bit harsh. as does Commander Evolution. And Josh Hill does actually say that if you actually were to go and put in more commodities to it, perhaps the secondary effects should be better. It would be nice to have a scaling system where if you decided to offer up more materials, it wasn't quite so crap at times.
Yeah, like better quality materials, like they have 3 grades of materials. So the higher grade of the material, the more positive effect you'll get. I quite like that idea.
Yeah, it would be nice. But you were saying, Cornelius?
No, but at the same time, you offer actually what's already working. If you have 2 rolls, you will have higher chance.
Oh, I know. But the thing
so
is,
if you have more materials in offering, you will still have higher chance.
Yes, but I still think that if you get a certain a certain role, if you offered to improve on it rather than just get a second role, which could be potentially worse.
What I don't quite understand is why, in example, polonium, very rare, yeah? Why it's available in outcrops, in metallic meteorites. You can't go only for specific container. You will have to get for all of them. This is a little bit too much random for me. And signal source also, it's yes, even if you know where to find material, yeah, there is not no guarantee you will have it.
No,
Once
you could
found,
spend 10 minutes and get one drop, or sit there for an hour and get nothing.
Exactly. No, it's I had extreme case. I had 1 hour 6, 8 hours 0. So I'm done with signal sources officially.
Oh yeah. No, I was getting a bit aggravated with Commander Ducky the other day in between recording for episode 18 and 19. I was out trying to find tin. I ended up finding 5 yttrium whilst I was looking for 2 tin.
Oh, what? And I was trying to find yttrium the other day. I found, 20 tin, and I found 1 yttrium in about 4 hours of roaming a surface. And this
I wish I had that. That didn't give me the time to actually have multi-rolls.
And this was on a planet that was suggested by in-game itself that it had yttrium on it. And I thought, but
it wasn't Diecat 4, was it? That's where I was.
Diecat 4, yes, that's exactly where I was.
Yes, that's where I was.
I didn't find any yttrium.
You see, random.
Too random.
It is.
But
the thing is,
they're going to fix this, though, aren't they? They're going to fix this. They've got the new planetary scan. Well, not new, but they're going to add the feature of the planetary scanner, where it's actually going to show you the concentrations, I believe.
Yeah. Apparently, it's going to show you what materials you can find on the planet, how much you can find,
and
but they're also going to be increasing.
Increase the amount you get.
Yeah, they're increasing the amount you can get, and how much, and the likelihood that they're going to drop from every node.
Yeah.
So, I'm not exactly sure exactly. Yeah.
I think it's going to make a lot of difference going that way. The fact that if you can collect materials faster, even if they leave the engineers' roles as they are now, you'll be able to do more roles with the same amount of time invested into the game.
Yeah,
it seems that's what's happening as well, because a lot of the lower
you expect a load of materials, and I think it'd feel a lot better if you could sit there at the engineers and do 10 rolls rather than just 1.
That's it.
I do like that idea. But apparently that's roughly what they're working towards, because if I remember rightly from the newsletter, they're planning to streamline a lot of the, I'm assuming it's going to be like grade 1, 2, and potentially 3 blueprints. So they're going to be removing a few of the items required for it and make those items easy to find. So at the very least, getting the lower level ones going to be a lot easier to do.
And the fact that they've also mentioned that the rarer materials will drop a bit more frequently, in that you'll probably get 2 units or more rather than just a single unit we currently get.
Exactly. Yeah,
that also is going to enable us to do more rolls, isn't it?
Yeah. You mean like the specialized legacy firmware, which is supposed to be a grade 1 material? Nobody can ever find it. Oh, a couple of the Wolfpack members were actually literally trying to tear each other's throats out trying to find one at one point.
I got a couple of them during doing cargo mission runs, long-range cargo mission runs.
Yeah, I got a couple with Ducky just jumping into grade 0, threat level 0 unidentified signal sources. Whether they were encoded or degraded emissions, I can't remember. But
you mean specialized legacy firmware?
Yes.
I think you should aim for satellites. Encoded emissions with satellites.
Yeah, well, I actually found them in from ships from I was just randomly running around looking for odds and ends. I mean, I wasn't specifically looking for anything. I just happened to find like 3 of them within an hour. So I'm not complaining overly.
But I think this is something we've all discussed ourselves before, is wouldn't it be better if there was a mission system that, I know that Frontier have said that this is not going to happen, but I really think it should, where the engineer gives you a mission for a particular resource you're looking for. And it could be even a multi-stage mission where you go somewhere, get some information, then go somewhere else, do the job.
You know what?
And you come back
what I would
and
like
you
to see?
actually earn the material.
Yeah.
That'd be
You know
nice.
what I would like to see? There are planets with polonium, an example, yeah? There is a station orbiting. Why this station do not issue missions with polonium reward? Why this is also random? There
Can
is
you not
place
get
where
polonium
you...
from mining? I'm pretty sure you can.
Mining, no, I did not see mining, but I seen cadmium from mining, but no polonium.
I'm
But you
pretty
can
sure I
get
mined
platinum.
polonium. Oh, I'm not sure,
Well,
actually.
Might be very like it's possible, but it's very, very, very hard.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Is
But what I meant
polonium
is
a
that there should be
commodity
place
or a...
where you
Yeah,
go.
is polonium a commodity or is it a resource, a material?
Raw
Right,
material.
then no, I'm thinking of something else then, sorry.
No, I mean there should be place where you know that if you go there and dock, you have missions for specific type of material. You go there for Imperial shieldings, an example. You go there for core dynamics, there for polonium.
I have a feeling there is
Basically,
actually something along these lines a little bit, but it's
This would
more
be
hidden.
nice.
I think...
not. There is not. There is nothing.
No. All I'm saying is that you seem to... from what I understand is you have more of a chance of finding missions for these specific things, depending on what type of system you're in.
I can
whether it's
tell you many
refinery,
examples.
So
An
on.
example, my friend was flying one place. He got Imperial shieldings, 2 in a row. I went there, nothing for several hours. One same station, one day you have missions of polonium spawning like crazy. You come, next day, nothing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
no,
that's
that's
the
definitely
same
good.
problem with the materials down on the planet, isn't it? You can spend days there, and one person would
Yes.
say, "Oh, well, I've never had a problem finding yttrium or polonium," and another person would say, "Well, I've been
We were
doing it
driving
for
on
5
the same
days
planet.
and never found one."
We were driving on the same planet. And
Yeah.
we found different stuff.
Should drive together. Combine the luck.
I think
But
that's
other games, they deal with this, don't they, by having an increased chance of having a particular drop after a certain amount of time. So say if you don't find what you're looking for after an hour and it's only got a 3% chance of dropping, then after an hour that chance goes up to 5% or 6%. Then after another hour it goes up to 10%. Yeah, I believe that's the way Diablo 3 handles this sort of thing.
So just leave your computer on for like 3 days straight and you've got a 75% chance of finding a material that you're
exactly,
after.
yeah.
Once, probably once.
You're
When you find it,
guaranteed
it's
to
again
get
back to
at least
3.
one of them. It's going to take you 3 days, though. Someone else might still find it.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's just the random nature of it. I think that's what everybody's getting upset about. The random nature of finding materials you need. There should be a more organized way of approaching it to earn those materials that you need. I mean, the scanner is a right step in the right direction, but there needs to be
I think they're going. I definitely think they're going in the right direction now. With the scanner and increasing the chance to drop, then I think they're definitely going in the right direction. And they've heard that people want it changed, and they certainly seem to be.
Well, they certainly seem to be listening
agreeing with
to
that.
the community. So
Yeah.
I'll give them points for that. That's absolutely true.
Oh, definitely.
I just
have the feeling that a lot of people are still in the mindset of like older MMO kind of crafting systems like Lord of the Rings Online, Age of Conan, World of Warcraft, and so on, where you get a recipe, you get a specific set of materials or ingredients or whatever. You go to a certain place, you can craft them, and you get a set outcome. I think a lot of people are still stuck in this mindset, and the RNG element's just thrown everyone for a massive loop, and it's just annoyed more people than anything else. What do you guys think?
I don't mind the random outcomes so much. I think that could be a bit more interesting and probably a bit less, with the negative aspects being a little bit less than what they are. But I think it's a good idea. I just think like you said, a lot of people are not used to the concept.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because we've all grown up with like a certain set of rules that we're used to, and now we come to this and it's completely thrown what we're used to completely in the bin. We don't know what the hell to it. We didn't know what the hell to expect. We kind of reacted as we usually would. Like, what the hell is this? It's not great. I don't like it. Kind of thing.
But all games have this random. Have you played any games recently? Every single game has this.
Games recently. I'm talking about older games.
Older
That's why I specifically said older games. All the games recently, yes, they all have RNG aspects in there, and that's fine. But I mean, people are complaining about the Division and their RNG, which from what I understand, is way worse than what Frontier has.
It's not worse.
They actually went and fixed it.
I don't play it. I'm just going off what
there are 3 materials only and no limit. It's not worse.
I don't know this. I don't play that game. It's not my kind of thing.
Well, that's probably something I hope that they're going to look at, and they'll develop with the community. I mean, they seem to be doing that so far. So, who knows? But something
the community does seem
to
have a lot more say. Yeah, the community does seem to have a lot more say in what's going on with the leads than any other developer that I've ever known. Even Blizzard, who freaked out and added 2 extra characters of female body proportion just because one feminist said something. So yeah, I do think Frontier should get kudos for that.
Yes, but sometimes they listen to the community a little too much, and we'll talk that about
they can,
a bit
yes.
later.
But I think we should. So, what else are we going to go on about? Are we done with the engineers? Should we move on to interdictions or what?
Well, let's ask people out there who are listening. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask us about the engineers aspect of it? Just post it in your talk chat there.
Well, you are waiting for an answer. Because it takes some time. Let's talk about good stuff. Let's change a little bit. What I like about Engineers Upgrade, first of all, you can scan signal source. Very good.
Yeah.
It
well,
saves a lot of time.
we basically gained 6 levels of signal sources as well, opposed to the original 3 that we had. So we've got everything from level 0 to 6 or something. Was that 7? That's 7 sources, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, I can't math very well today. Just realised I finished my first beer. I need to go and get a second.
I'm really not a big fan of the signal sources. I find them to be a bit too random. And
yes, I meant that you can scan them. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, you can scan them. That's a good thing.
You don't need to go there anymore, and you can actually exit if you are very fast. You can exit 10 million meter. You don't need to go so close anymore. I would like to see that with most stations as well. There are some outposts and stations you can exit.
Happen to some stations as well, doesn't it? It seems to be down to gravity rather than velocity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like that, but still,
it would
be nice to have more of those.
James Case is asking, is any news on any hidden engineers? And as far as I know, not really at the moment. We've only got the current 15, although Frontier did talk about 30 potentially. So whether or not we've just not spotted them, 15 could very well be hidden. I don't know.
There's some outside the bubble as well, didn't they?
There are. There's some outside the bubble from what I've been told.
I hope not. Yeah. It's a pain to fly to Poland to upgrade thrusters for your ships. It's just, wow. There are outside bubble and you can't carry your modules with you for other ships. Imagine flying like 10 times back and forth.
Yeah, says the guy that doesn't like exploration. We all know your stance on that one.
Well, try to recall that and then say it. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I could imagine that it's not going to be a lot of fun. But
I would like exploration if I would see there's something I don't see in habitat bubble. But if I can do same exactly here.
How about this for an idea? This has been talked about a few times in the forums and other places. Some kind of jump gate system where it leads to other parts of the galaxy that, you could enter like a jump gate and it'll go somewhere else. How do you guys...
Vindicator.
Yeah.
We have no ship delivery. You want jump gates?
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm a bit worried about this myself. I wouldn't want to run into the Goa'uld.
Something's going to have to happen to that at some point, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, there's permit protected regions.
Yes,
30,000 light years away from inhabited space. So it's hopefully at some point there's going to need to be another way for people to get there, especially if they haven't got long-range ships.
Well, that's what I'm
I
thinking.
suspect that at least one of those areas is going to be playing a bit of a part in 1.4, but that's all speculation at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
But I think everyone reckons that we're going to get Thargoids in 1.4.
I
apparently
miss
winter is
micro
coming.
jumps. I miss micro jumps, really, because there are some stars within the same system, hundreds of thousands light seconds away. I would like to small hyper jump.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
It will not break anything. It will just give us some convenient way to get there.
It'll make the hut and run boring, though. Okay, well.
So no questions, yeah.
Yeah, nothing really. So, all right, let's move into interdictions. Now, personally,
some people are talking about ship skins, ship kits as well, saying that they're a good idea but too expensive.
Yeah, they're a little bit pricey.
Ship kit.
Yeah, ship kit.
Well, I've already gone and got myself one. I got one for the Eagle, but that's only because I plan to use it as a racing ship. If they got ones for I wouldn't mind having them if it made the ships look a bit more kind of beat up and older, rather than just adding spoilers on. I don't want to look like I'm racing a drift car or something from Need for Speed Underground or whatever. I just wouldn't mind having something that changed the look of the ship, making it look either older, a bit more kind of bolted on armor, this, that, or the other. Not necessarily all the fins and spoilers that they've got currently.
To hell with that. I want spinners on my FDL. I want under, what's it? The lights underneath, the spinner kit, and the big spoiler, and fluffy dice.
No, I do agree. Yeah, I do agree there, Zumi. Space racers. Yeah, very nice.
Exactly, space racers. I think they should cut the price a little bit, especially both on the kits and the skins, just a bit. I think they'd be a bit more popular if they cut the price just a little bit.
No, I don't doubt
it. Are in the sale at all?
Say again, sorry, Internet?
I haven't had a look to see if they're in the sale. Are they in the sale at all, the ship kits?
I don't think they are. I haven't spotted, really. I'll have a quick look.
Plus, they've only got
they got price off the skins, haven't they? Prices off the bubble heads. Discounts on the game itself.
Yeah, the ship kits are still full price.
Yeah, well, they're only recently released, aren't they? So I can understand that.
I'm not surprised in this.
Do you think they're going to bring out more ship kits, or?
Oh, I do. When we were doing the wildcard event, we were talking with Zach and Ed, and they were asking us what kind of the next ones we'd like to see. Naturally, my answer was the Python, being my favourite ship in the game. I know it's not a ship that everybody loves, but I just love it. It's just such a versatile ship. Yes, it doesn't have the best jump range, and it doesn't necessarily have the best manoeuvrability without modifications.
That's a good multi-purpose ship. It's one of the better medium-class multi-ships out there. Well, medium-sized, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody heard that, but two of my rats in the background decided to have a bit of a disagreement. So if you heard it, apologies.
So anyway, let's move on to interdictions. Now, the big kerfuffle that was happening the past week or so. I suppose you guys have been paying attention to that. What's your take on it? Well, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I basically I can start leading off with a bit of a story from one of my Facebook followers. Basically, he was going there and complaining that he was being interdicted every 2 seconds. He'd basically do your little thing. He'd chaff and boost and chaff and boost and chaff and boost and jump. But then the second that he got back into Super Cruise, he'd be interdicted again, and he wouldn't be able to get very far. And he ended up just giving up and saying he's done with the game. The problem was, though, is that the complete pleb had been going and stacking 20 missions for that system.
Ouch.
So I'm really not surprised that he was being interdicted every 10 feet. So that's kind of something to take into consideration, is how many missions are you carrying? So it's not just the game. you have to take responsibility for what you're doing and how you're abusing game mechanics.
And don't forget that if you're aligned to a power play faction, you're going to get interdicted a hell of a lot more. If you're finding you're getting interdicted all the time, then maybe have a rethink about power play and think, is it really worth it? Because I'm not aligned with anybody, and I had hardly any interdictions.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting many interdictions after I left power play, but I've gone and joined again, and I'm not having that many issues at the moment because both my two main accounts, Ducky and Chaos Wulff, they're both back with the Blue Khaleesi, Aisling Duval, because I want to get the prismatic shields again.
Yeah,
especially with the engineer's ability to overcharge the power plants. I can actually start running them on more ships. I mean, on my Pimp My Ride series, I had a Vulture with prismatic shields.
Whoa. Jesus, how much did you get the power plant boosted up?
I rolled it quite a few times until it was maximum. I don't know. I'd have to check. I'd have to go and have a look at the video. It's on YouTube. It's on the first impressions playlist. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Because that's one very power starved ship.
Yes, I know. The sheer amount that you can get out of it is amazing. But let's not forget the prismatics. They're not as power hungry as you think. They use about 50% more, but you can get a crap ton more power out of the power plant. And also, I think what I was doing was making the weapons a bit more efficient, potentially, with like lower power draw and so on. I don't remember. But I had even gone and modified up the shields to be like silly stronger, and it was just a silly strong ship, and it was handling like an eagle, even with all this extra weight. So it just goes to show how insanely good you can get the ships if you get the good rolls. The problem is you get the fewer. At the moment, we're getting very few rolls in order to actually try and meet that potential.
Well, hopefully that'll all change soon. So, and we can all get the kind of modules that we want. So, hopefully.
Yeah. And Oliver Slaney, I do agree that the Anaconda is not exactly the most nimble of beasts in Super Cruise. But after you modify it out, I have got another video of that one in my Pimp My Ride series. And I was throwing that thing around a asteroid field, and it was handling almost like a Viper. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm going off. I'm going off on a self-promotional tangent. I do apologize.
That's all right. What about you, Obsidian? Because you're probably more of an trader, explorer type of person. How did you feel with the interdictions?
I'm actually all right with them so far. I mean, I always get annoyed with interdictions. I've done right from the start, but that don't mean I think they're a bad thing for the game. And I haven't seen them to be more. I haven't seen them being more frequent yet, but I think that's possibly the same thing we was talking about with the materials. Some people are getting these things, and other people aren't.
Yeah, well,
I think one of the major questions here is: as you with
power, when I've been
with power play?
Me, no.
Yeah, well, that'll be another issue. That'll be another consideration towards
when I stack up a load of missions, then yeah, I'll get interdicted a lot then, but that's to be expected, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Like, no, if you're stacking like 20 missions,
5, 10 or 20 missions, then yeah, I'll get interdicted a whole lot. I've been playing with a new account. I've got my Sidewinder, and the interdictions are
Mr. Cobra Commander.
easier to escape with the Sidewinder because it's fairly manoeuvrable. But on both that and some of the slightly better ships, I've found that when you get interdicted, the enemy or the pirate or whoever it is, they open fire as soon as you drop out of warp, more or less, and they can strip your shields away more or less instantly.
Yeah, they've changed that.
I haven't found that myself so much.
Yeah, I've had that almost every time. The first pass, the shields are gone.
Yep, I had that happen to me in my ASP. Like, I lost my shields pretty much straight away, and I only managed to boost away and getting to back into Super Cruise. But they've changed that, so they admitted that was a problem and they fixed it. So hopefully that'll stop happening.
Well, at least we don't have the Gatling plasma cannons anymore.
Have you guys tried mines yet? I've been having a ball with them.
Oh, I did that a long time ago with my Type 6. It was hilarious just watching the ships behind me melt.
Well, you know that.
But don't forget, they've got shock mines as well now, which just knock them all every way to Sunday.
Yeah, I had 4 shock mines on my ASP, and a viper tried to interdict me. I let him get really close, and then I dropped the shock mines, and he just bounced like nearly 5Ks away. It was hilarious.
I still think it was hilarious when I shot one of my Wolfpack members with the. So I'm going off on a tangent slightly. I do apologise in advance, but I hit him with class 4 cannons with the 4 shells, and he went. I actually knocked him about 28 kilometers away. That was hilarious. But sorry, tangent over.
Kornelius, what about you, mate? You haven't really said much anything about interdictions. What are your thoughts?
Really? Well, I will tell you a
here we
story
go. Here we
about
go.
yesterday. I was unlocking Professor Palin. I was in Maya. It's anarchy system. And I was in my Anaconda with some cargo because obviously I need commodities, yeah?
Yeah.
And when I unlocked him, I decided to spend 30 minutes searching for signal source because I hoped I will find something good there. So I was interdicted by... I was in Anaconda. I was interdicted by Harmless Cobra, mostly Harmless Viper, Asp Scout, Novice Viper, Competent Sidewinder, Asp, Scout Eagle, Expert Diamondback. So I'm back to square one. I'm pretty much 8 in 30 minutes, plus 2. Actually, 2 were fine. Elite Federal Assault ships.
So I thought you said all these were
Yeah. No, this is just single ships interdicting me. So I basically am back to ignoring AI again. Those canisters with guns are worthless.
So they've actually gone backwards with the AI in regards to interdictions as well.
Yes, they've gone back to exactly the same place where you were before.
Oh, Jesus.
Only good AI is from mission generated. These who are aiming at your cargo. Because they are elite, mostly. But
well, a lot of people seem to have been complaining about the AI.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what about AI? I would set a rule that you can't play in open unless you go to training combat missions and just learn the basics. Because I understand many have problem, but you have to learn the basics before you go to forum and start asking for AI change. There is really...
So this is one of the situations where it's the get good scrub kind of mentality.
Not get good, just learn the basics. You can't be killed. You can run away. If 10 anything attack you, there's no time for them to do anything.
Yes, I'm going over the top, obviously, so yes. But apparently they're going to be changing things as well. When you're out, the AI that gets... They're going to be reintroducing the AI scaling. Sorry, that's the beer coming up. But they're saying that the AI that gets generated against certain commanders is going to be based on their combat rank, or added +1, +2 if their trade rank is higher than their combat rank, or exploration rank is higher, or something along those lines.
Plus wingman, please.
So
if you're I hope please more.
So I think that should be a factor, really.
Hang on for a second.
And if you have 200 gold in your cargo hold, please more.
Yes.
If you have 5 tons, please less.
So
dude, I agree with you 100%. I think that the AI isn't as powerful as people are whinging about on the forums.
Oh, it's not.
But,
it really isn't.
You know that Elite Dangerous became Elite Harmless.
Yes, I know.
Officially.
I know. I mean, I was... during the wildcard event when we had the combat CG, I was flying around with a wing of my Wulffs, and basically we decided to go like bonsai straight into the middle of a bunch of enemies. We ended up killing like about 15 enemy AI from dangerous rank and up, back to back with no stops, without losing a single commander. I mean, admittedly, my modded Python was at 16% hull at the end of it, and I was virtually empty with ammunition, but we did well. And we did fine. It just goes to show that you need to know what you're doing. But then again, the guys that I was flying with are combat pilots.
The most fun part, you know what is the most fun part? If AI would be strong, people would be forced to learn a little, and there would not be griefers, because players would not be able to kill other players if they would know what to do.
No.
Yes.
I would disagree there. I reckon you'd still always have griefers because you'd always have certain level.
I mean,
pilots.
not all at all, but very little, because griefers, yes, there always will be griefing, but there will be so little griefing if there is something to do with AI, and if players learn the basics, and you can grief only players who don't know anything about the game, or who who are not aware of surroundings and.
The biggest problem, this is the problem. The biggest problem we have with is not necessarily AI. It's how the AI is used throughout the game. If you're in a high security system, you shouldn't be facing high level enemies. They shouldn't even be there. You shouldn't even be getting interdicted that much. You should be only at risk if you're in a low security or in an anarchy system. And that's when players will know, I shouldn't go there because I'll now get into trouble. And they can learn.
Yeah.
Whereas now
I agree with...
you can face any level enemy anywhere you are, and it's just I don't think that's right. I really don't.
But the big issue is with this is that there is no difference. High security, low security. I mean, the profit is same. The commodities are same. So you just move. I agree for safe zones, but then there need to be some mechanics that if there's palladium mining, the palladium price should be very low.
Oh,
it should be dynamic economy.
The idea is that if you're in a safe area, all the trading is, you're not getting much in trading for your rewards for your trading. You're not getting much for mining because it's all safe. So that pushes people into...
combat should be lower bounties.
It should really be high risk, high reward.
So if you actually go into an anarchy system, whatever you sell in an anarchy system, you'll be getting a premium on because not many people go there to sell those items. And nobody will be there mining, so all those rings will be more pristine. So you get a lot more back. So exactly, it's risk versus reward. So the higher the risk, the greater the reward. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, so basically high risk, high reward, as really should be that way. I do agree with a lot of people here that I liked the more difficult AI. It was forcing me to learn different mechanics of the game and actually how to change my combat strategies, rather than just flying backwards and going, oh, look, I can stay outside of its ranges, and go, oh, look, I can kill it. But I do prefer the other way. But if you're flying in a wing as well, it forces you to actually work as a unit rather than someone pulling a Stubbs maneuver. And sorry, inside joke there. But someone going off and flying off by themselves, realizing that their wingmate is now being swamped by 7 ships, and then getting back and finding out that Geddy's been killed. Yes, it's an inside joke, I know, but either way, it'll force people to kind of work as a unit, and I like that idea because my community is mainly a PvE community. We have our own private group; it's a PvE group.
Well, that's another thing too. If you wing up, you should be able to take on missions where everybody shares on the rewards. Imagine if you get a mission.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and then that'll encourage people to wing up and actually do things together. And I think that's another thing that's lacking within the game, is real support for wings.
Yeah, definitely. And I see a white wing nut in the chat. Hello, dude. That's one of my wolves. Sorry. But yeah, no, I think as well, potentially, we should potentially have different AI levels for the different types of universe that we're flying, whether it be solo, group, or open. Because then at least you can choose what level of AI you play against. Because if you want to go against really hard AI, you fly in open. Because then you've got all the other players as well. If you want to do somewhat high, you go in group. If you want to have like baby kind of AI, you can go in solo.
No,
I think that might be a way of doing it. It might be a way of kind of shutting certain people up that are complaining that the AI are too hard.
I totally disagree. Then that means that, you know, like a lot of times I only want to play solo for whatever reason. And, you know, I want to be able to still enjoy the higher quality AI while still playing solo. But if I know that certain zones are far more dangerous than other zones, you know, as a new pilot, I could say, look, I'll stay in these new zones, in the lower rated zones until I've learned a bit more, and then I'll move into the higher rated zones. It just makes a bit more sense.
I agree with that. If you're in a more difficult or more dangerous zone, and if the AI was more difficult there, pretty much people could choose where they wanted to go according to their playstyle, then, couldn't they?
And it would also make trading a lot more interesting too, because then you think to yourself, do I want to take the faster, more dangerous route, or play it safe and go through the safer route, which takes me longer and get no interdictions on the way?
What would be nicer to see as well, because I've kind of realised that what I was saying was complete and utter rubbish. So, yes. I'm only human. I do know that I can talk out complete and utter crap at times, but and that's in fact that's why I got so popular on YouTube. But I do agree that actually I don't agree, so I'm talking completely out my ass. But I do think it would be interesting to potentially have like almost like a traffic report kind of thing on the galaxy map, like higher kind of danger zones in the galaxy, like where a lot of pirate activity has been shown, almost like how you see on your GPS, where you can see like the higher traffic areas, so you can know to avoid that area. That'd be an interesting feature to have.
Like a filter, like you know how we have a star filter,
yes,
you know, economy filter. You could have like a security filter, and it shows you
yes, that'd be interesting.
You know, are safe to travel through, and which ones are far more dangerous to travel through.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting. That'd be useful information for people, because then they can choose. Right, I don't want to go through there because that's a war zone, and I'm most likely going to get my ass blown out of the sky. But I could go around it.
Yeah, I'm going to get if I go through these systems, I know I'm going to get interdicted, and if I go through these systems, I know that I'm fairly safe from being interdicted. So then people have a choice about what they do and what they face, and I reckon that's the answer.
Yeah, I do think as well that we should have the high risk, high reward, as you were talking earlier, because like I'm trading now. I actually sold off my anaconda, my beloved anaconda, and bought myself a trade cutter. The thing drifts like nobody's business, but it's fast, and I find that if I'm being interdicted, all I need to do is put 4 pips into systems, boost.
Nothing
can catch me.
Nothing.
Nothing
right.
touches
I do
it.
my long range trading in my cutter, and nothing touches me.
Yeah, no, it would be nice to see something that could potentially threaten this if you go into really dangerous areas. That'd be a nice little thing to have in the game.
Well, then, but that's it though. If you go into a dangerous area like an anarchy system, you're facing elite level fertilancers with engineered boost engines. Engineered dirty drives that could overtake you quite easily.
That would be nice.
And then,
John 93. Sorry, 1 sec. John 93. I didn't know that came from Eve because I've never played that game, but I'm glad you like it.
Oh well, yeah. Look, I don't want this to turn into Eve because Eve is just a freaking nightmare. But there are some elements of Eve that could work in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. There's elements of it, loads of things. But anyway, Kornelius, you're mainly a trader, if I understand the signals correctly. What do you think of the ideas that have just been kind of floating from a trader's perspective?
I think he's more of an explorer, but yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
he is a really
trading and exploring, yeah.
Okay.
If you ask me, I always think from perspective of developers, because there's a game and you know what they have to do to change some stuff. Some stuff is almost impossible to change. They will have to rehaul completely from scratch the code. I don't want that. This is stupid to ask from developers to remake their game now. So
it's a little bit. We've kind of gone past the point of no return. Sorry.
Yeah,
carry on.
We are. High and low security makes a lot of sense, and it would be the best implementation for AI if they add sometimes some interesting wings of AI enemies. But I see the problem, like we already spoke, that there is no need to go there or there. You can always go to safe zone if there's no risk reward. These safe and danger zones won't do any good.
Yeah, the two have got to go hand in hand. You can't just put safe zones in without also putting in risk and reward in.
Oh, absolutely.
You'd have to go hand in hand.
I'd like to have the ability where players could choose whether or not they wanted to take the high risks to get the better rewards out of it, or whether they wanted to go slow, safe, and steady.
Well, that's it.
Just give us an option to pick AI difficulty. Who wants to have safe and easy AI? Clicks there. Who wants to have dangerous, deadly AI? Clicks. Picks that difficulty.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think we want it quite that simple. We want to have it a bit more hidden, especially like with the RNG of the engineers with the literal spinning thing that just makes.
That simplest solution always is best.
Yes.
More hidden difficulty. Then one group will. What's also the problem of Elite? There is solo group and open group, and every single decision or gameplay content will be taking very badly from one of those groups. You can't satisfy them both. You need to divide.
Oh, no,
you need to make
you can't.
Slightly adjust for one group, another group. You need, and same with AI. You can't give same to everyone. You need to have some element of scaling.
Oh yeah, no,
How's
I
it
do
do?
agree that we need
It's-
scaling.
Yeah.
No, because constantly nerfing the AI, I think, is kind of detrimental to the skill of most players. If it ends up being too easy, we're all going to be losing our ability to actually go and fight things. So what's going to happen when the Thargoids turn up? We're all going to get completely and utterly screwed and whatever the word the hell is that the Borg use for taking us into their collective. Assimilating, that one. I'll shut up now.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, that's how I feel. I think if they do actually show up, or whatever other aliens are going to show up, people probably need to I hate saying it, but get a bit better at combat, so that when that does happen, they're going to be prepared for it. If we can have really sloppy AI like we do again, I don't know. What is that? Does that mean that Thargoids are going to be really easy to kill too? It's like, well, what's the point?
Historically speaking, the Thargoids were extremely difficult to kill because they had such advanced technology.
Yeah, but what are the people going to again complain and say, "Oh no, they're too hard. And that's my concern.
I know.
That's where I think sometimes Frontier listens to the community a little too much, because quite often.
So should we move on to that topic now?
Oh well, I mean that's my concern, is that that Frontier have reacted to the community, but not in a good way with the AI, by dumbing down the AI. But perhaps, and I was going to say this earlier, that maybe they rolled back the AI to how it was before, temporarily, until the new changes come through in the next update. So that could be a possibility.
I really hope that's the case.
I think that's how they've dealt with problems in the past, isn't it? When they've had problems with graphics come to mind, they tend to roll back to a previous iteration before they roll out the updated version. That's
what I'm thinking, that they rolled it back to how it was pre 2.1, and then they'll introduce the new AI in the next update.
And Walsh is actually asking if this is available as a podcast, but currently it's only really a live stream kind of pseudo podcast.
I am working on a way of getting this on iTunes. There are a couple already on iTunes, but I've run out of space. But I'm trying to work out another way of doing it. So,
I think we need to work this stuff out. I think we're all kind of a little bit learning as we go.
Yeah,
you are very trying. I will agree.
Oh, very.
But yeah, no, I do agree that the reaction to people complaining about things could perhaps have been a little bit scaled back. I do think they've reacted a little bit, but I'm hoping, as you say, that it is only a temporary measure until they've done all these changes within the next month or so. Because I really do, I like the idea that we should have high risk, high reward. We should have scaling with the AI. Like a harmless AI should be pretty much easy to just like kick in the nads and just leave floating in space, or blow them up if we want. And elite really should be elite and hard to kill. But
Absolutely.
recently I've been finding that the elites aren't as dangerous as they could be. I mean, yes, that might be nice for people that are grinding up their combat rank, but that's not really the point. You shouldn't be grinding up combat rank. It should be a passive thing.
You know what will happen if they want to make nice AI for everybody? Experienced players will just leave. I already see that everybody is leaving.
Can they make nice scaled AI for everybody? I think it's a very narrow.
It's subjective
thing that they're walking.
What is easy for somebody is incredibly difficult for someone else, and that's why if we have different areas, people can then pick what areas they want to stick to their skill level. And
but why I would go there for such area? Why? Tell me. Just because I can kill everybody else everywhere else? Why I am forced to go there?
Because if you go to the harder places, you get bigger bounties, you can sell goods at a far more expensive price, and you can get far more better
If
materials.
that would be tied to engineers and loot and other stuff, yeah, but
yes.
Bounties. I don't care about bounties.
No, but it's tied into everything.
Yeah, well, I think bounties are a lot of ways certain players make money. So it's... Again, it's subjective. You don't care about it, but other people do. So, like I said, it's completely subjective. I do think
you can get 50 mil per hour now. You can earn. I always see those how you make money. Just go to Theos, Sotis, and get 50 mil per hour.
That's exactly what I do. I go to Theos in my trade.
What's the problem? Where is the problem?
There's
For insurance, for everybody.
But not everybody likes to do trading for doing certain things. They like to be able to do what they like. I know, not necessarily. I'm just saying, but not necessarily. People like.
That's exactly what I'm telling.
Ways.
If people like to fight and they have nothing to fight with, they will leave.
But the thing is,
I do agree that we need.
Say if a new pilot has been playing the game for a month and a half, and he thinks he's pretty good at combat. He wants to earn more money. He can't really do trading. He has now the ability to go into a higher security zone area, get bigger bounties on the ships that he kills, get better quality materials, and, I think that's just a far better experience for people progressing through the system. Well, progressing through the ranks, rather than just having...
Do you feel that wouldn't work, Kornelius?
Sorry?
Do you feel it wouldn't work if it was implemented like that?
Yeah, because we've got a guy in chat saying
it will solve some problems, but again, this game is for like 18 months now. You can't always just only for new players or only for experience. You need to think what's good for everyone.
But that's
which is why I think that having the areas of space where you've got certain areas that are difficult, certain areas that are normal. Like, imagine like in older MMOs and stuff. Well, even most MMOs nowadays, you've got the starter areas, which are like lower levels, and you can kill things there quite easily. Then you've got like the higher levels, but have that kind of thing in the game, but hidden behind like, here is more dangerous areas and here is easier areas, kind of thing.
If I could go there and get polonium, as many as I need, or antimony, or an example, Imperial shielding, yes, definitely. But if you go there, kill stuff, and just a chance for something, sorry, it's not.
No. I don't think that's definitely not what I was saying. I do think that if it's high risk, high reward, you should have a much better way of actually getting things.
Then definitely, then should be work.
Yeah, so like if you've killed a bunch of, like you go to a res site in a anarchy system, the ships there might be dropping, lots of tin, lots of antimony, lots of polonium, rather than just dropping more, less quality, more popular materials in, higher security systems. So you're getting far more, rewards by being in a much harder zone.
No, because as Underwash says, he says that's true. The learning curve is killing new players, which is in a way is true. But like if we had it where like the starter systems and like the surrounding area for like about 15, 20 light years maybe was like easy area, and then beyond that it gets harder and harder. And you've got like different areas like blotted around space, which are much higher traffic, much higher risk, much higher reward systems, and areas and sections of space, almost like the power play map, but not quite so much. But it's like this area is really difficult, so if you go there you are much more likely to get better rewards, better the things that you need for engineers, this, that, the other. Go there, but you are going to be facing really difficult shit, really difficult stuff. And
especially now when we can upgrade our ships, we have nothing to do with our upgraded ships. And if we have such a space, we will have a lot of fun.
At least then people now have a choice. They have a choice of playing it safe, getting minimal rewards, or playing it, far more riskier and getting greater rewards. Then it's whatever the person does. If they fail, it's because of them, not because of the game.
But you know what's the problem biggest? It will be again shitstorm on forum because solo players can't do this, and that's what will stop this. Solo players are left out of this because in open you can link up with friends or private groups and have fun, and it's easier. That's why I say that you should give something.
Solo. You should still be able to do that in solo.
If you are good, you will be able. But if you
I
are
need to go off on a minor tangent right now. But yes, drink 15. I do mean that there are going to be a bunch of danger zones around the area. And yes, I have been watching Archer again.
Way too much Archer.
Yes, I'm currently watching Archer Vice again. That's what I'm doing between recording right now, is watching Archer. But yeah, no, I do think that the risk reward area is going to be great, but yes, it's going to be an issue for solo players. I mean, there are a
Solo
lot of
players need
solo
stories.
players.
Small stories.
Yes,
Keep them busy and happy.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
that's
Like
where you
missions,
something
like
I've asked for.
yeah.
There's
we
something
should
I've
have
asked
better
for. Is I
missions.
want. Yeah, sorry. What I've wanted is like some minor, story-driven, not exactly campaigns, but just areas in systems. Like I can go there, I can interact with NPCs, this, that, and the other. I can have like a story, not the big enough story that I'm the savior of the universe or the galaxy or this, that, the other, but the player can go there, do like a story kind of linear set of missions or so on, maybe even with a few FMVs or something that make them feel like they've made a fucking difference. Sorry, realize I'm getting a bit over the top now and I have been drinking, so apologies. But they'd be able to go and make it feel like they've made a difference in that particular system. Because at the moment, we don't matter. We are grains of sand on the beach of Elite Dangerous. And that's what it is, because there's billions of people or AI or potential simulated people in this game. Naturally, we're not going to matter, but it would be nice to feel like we did at least a little bit in certain areas or certain sections of space.
Yeah, well, that's what
I
I've
don't
always
know.
wanted. Yeah, if you have multiple course missions, so say you get a mission. Look, we need you to go rescue this pilot. You go pick him up in a signal source, and then you get information. Look, you need to get this pilot to this destination, and then you're being constantly chased, and then when you get to your destination, you got to fight off maybe a couple of ships and then deliver the pilot to safety. So you're doing a couple of things to do that mission in like a bit of a story. I'm just using that as an example.
Now, I've said something similar to that before. I like the way the game is at the moment in that we're just grains of sand. I think that's what Elite's always been. I think it probably should stay that way. But more involving chained missions, I think, would be great. I think Frontier have mentioned about something like that coming further down the line. But like you mentioned there, picking up a escape pod on a planetary surface, especially if that ship's perhaps been shot down and you get them back to the station eventually. And that could lead on to another mission to find a person who initially shot them down.
Yeah, so, it could be a number of things like that. And I'd love to do those sorts of things. And then you also be doing those missions gains you maybe, some higher tiered materials for engineers.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, like I said, it'd be nice to have like a kind of a story thing, but even if it's like a very, very localized thing, even if it's only to like around a certain planet or around a certain one system or something, it'd just be very nice just to have these chained things, perhaps have a set thing at the end which you'd need later on for something really important to the engineers or something.
Yeah, just, to help drive the game a little bit more. But I'm hoping that those sorts of things will start to happen, especially if Thargoids or the other aliens start invading. So let's cross our fingers on that.
Yeah, I hope this as well, but because I do suspect we're going to be getting some type of story in here, but I suspect it to be much further down the development cycle. So yeah, Paul McLean says he's going to be back in 30 minutes. Are we still going to be here in 30 minutes? Because I've lost track of how long we're talking for.
I think we've been going on for just over an hour. So yeah.
We'll still be here.
Most likely.
Yeah, we'll still be here. It's about 2 hours, if I remember rightly, from our previous kind of escapades.
Yeah, until the alcohol runs out.
No, I don't want my name written on the station. I want my my face in the game. Get it right, Red X. Sorry, I've been drinking.
Oh, this is something I wanted to discuss with you guys. How do you feel about ship-launched fighters?
I can't wait to see what they're going to be like. I'm really looking forward to giving them a go.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested. I'm just not sure if...
You know what I want to see? I want to see the forum posts when those small fighters will die like a flies and you will have to pay insurance for because Federal Fighter is, I don't know how to even say it. It's
crap.
In open, it's crap, yeah. I would not fly myself. I would fly fully upgrade Eagle. That's the minimum ship I would fly in open.
Yeah, but in the...
But not Federal Fighter.
Yeah, no, in the... what's the word I'm looking for? In CQC, apparently the the Condor, the Imperial Fighter, and so on have been kind of capped off at their abilities, so they're not going to be as good as what they would be in the live universe. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be like.
Big flying cannons. I don't know. Frontier, surely they've got something in mind to make these ships worthwhile.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they're going to be worth taking.
Didn't they say that they'd be able to launch Sidewinders? Not just
they did talk about that right early on. Yeah, they did.
They said that they'd be able to take ships up to. Yeah, they said they'd be able to take ships up to Sidewinder size. So I'm assuming that's going to be like the Condor, the Imperial Fighter, the Eagle, and the Sidewinder, and potentially what I'm assuming is going to be a new ship going to be brought in called the Crate. Because I think that was a previous ship that's roughly around about the same size as the Condors.
I'm pretty sure they mentioned more recently, though, that there won't be Sidewinders as ship-launched fighters.
Might
be wrong on that, but say that.
No, I suspect that due to gameplay kind of things, it will most likely just be like specific ships. You just buy you buy like a ship launch bay, like you do a SRV bay, and you just fill it with like certain types of ships, like you would normally in SRV.
Oh,
and they can launch them.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just fill up all your module slots with fighter bays and launch them all? I mean, I know you can't, but it'd just be hilarious.
Would be hilarious. No, that would be hilarious. Although they have put a hard cap on that with like 2 per ship or something for like the
2.
2. I'm not sure if that counts for the T9 as well, because I suspect that it would be hilarious having the T9 being able to be used as some kind of a carrier. That would be hilarious, and just being able to use it in a combat role.
Do you remember back on, I don't know if any of you played during premium beta times, but back when we had like 5 or 6 systems, something like that, you could go to one of the you could go into one of the Anarchy systems, and there'd be, it wasn't an unidentified signal source, but there was some sort of signal source you could drop in at. And when you dropped in on it there was this big T9 with a fleet of ships around it. And if you listened to the comms chat, or you read the comms chat, they were talking about invading the neighbouring system. Back then, the Type 9 certainly was outfitted for, at least from the NPC side of it, as a combat role.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool.
The conflict zones have Type 9
carrier.
Yeah.
Do they? I don't remember seeing.
But the fun part, they don't drop the correct loot. They drop combat loot there. If you kill them outside conflict zones, they drop different kind of stuff. It's funny.
Perhaps that's a bit of foreshadowing. Yeah, Jim Sam, I have no idea how big the crate was. Sorry, Cornelius.
Would be interesting to have some movement in the game, like a pirate wing or clan is taking over a system. There are like 50, 60 of those ships. Or terrorist attack to some base, and you have to you can choose if you want to go there or not. It's like small conflict zone, but it's not like unlimited until the next tick, but it's just there are 60 ships. First who comes there and kills them is mentioned in Galnet News, an example.
I would love to see battles around stations. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, battles at stations. It would be surprising. You just go there and boom, there's fight. You don't know to run, to go and watch what's happening.
Well, I actually saw like a USS in space, and it was called Demonstrations, like a demonstration or something. I dropped in there, and it was 2 political parties at each other's throat, and then it just broke into a fight.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously, that's the first time I've ever seen something like that. And I was thinking, well, that'd be awesome at a station or something.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. I mean, we've seen things in like the trailers and so on where people are fighting around starports. We've seen it where they've been launching launch fighters, this, that, and the other. We've seen so many cool things, and it would be nice to eventually be able to go and actually reenact these things out for ourselves, rather than just have to kind of just imagine it.
I'd like to see like big space complexes, like they do have in CQC, but in near around stations which you could fight through.
Yeah, like I've said before, I'd love like I've said previously, I'd love to see CQC brought into the main universe, where you could be like a professional CQC player and be able to fly around to different things. I don't doubt it will be at some point, as Kornelius says.
Well, it'd have to be because no one's playing it.
Oh, I know.
I mean, when was the last time any of you played CQC? I can't even remember my last time.
A long, long time ago. But the thing is, it's mainly because I've got multiple accounts now. I mean, I used to try playing it when I only had one account and I was out exploring. Actually, did I even have that one? No, I actually still had 2 accounts at that point. Because even before CQC account was out, I had Commander Ducky. And I've never really been that fussed with it.
Nah, I don't think it's that. Look, it's good for a bit of fun if you want to have a quick, fight and stuff. But I think it'd be better if they brought it into the main game.
Yeah, because at the moment, if you want a quick fight, you can just jump like about 10, 20 light years, however long it is, to go to a specific system with resource rings, and it does something specific for you. You can go and get money, you can go and get combat rank and so on, and it counts towards your specific combat ranking, which is what more people really care about. I mean, nobody really cares about their CQC rank at them.
Nah. No, I think mine's still harmless or something.
Yeah, I think I'm still mostly something or other.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm going off a minor tangent again, but I'm almost certain that Ace High SG is a Iron Maiden fan. But sorry, I'm going, like I said, minor tangent. I'll be quiet again.
Oh, if we've, I suppose, talked pretty much about that, does anyone want to discuss what was mentioned about passenger missions, or perhaps what we could see in 2.2?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about passenger missions.
What was mentioned about 2.2? Sorry. Yeah, no.
Orca already lost two internal compartments, 5 and 6. It's away. You can't access them anymore. They're probably transferring into passenger modules. So they are working hard on this.
Is that
well, at least on 2.2, the Orca will be useful.
So
maybe.
Are they going to have, like, instead of cargo racks, something like passenger modules? Is that what they're going to do?
Cabins, yes.
Cabins.
If it's anything like Frontier Elite 2, then they will have cabins and so on. Because I do vaguely remember that from that game, although I was like about 11 or 13 when I played that game, and I remember almost absolutely nothing.
There's already some game folders in Elite Dangerous for passenger cabins. If you look through the files there, you can see there's a folder there for passenger cabins.
I wonder if you'll be able to freeze them and sell them off as slaves later.
I was saying this as myself in one of my newsletter videos. I was suspecting there's going to be different grades of cabins. Obviously, you're going to start off with like the standard bog standard stasis cabins, like stasis racks and so on. And those guys you could quite easily sell off into slavery. And then you go up to coach class, first class, business class, and absolute luxurious class kind of. I do kind of think that's what's going to happen. And in order to actually get the really, really high end cabins and so on, you're going to have like the luxury ships like the Orca, the Dolphin, and the Beluga liner. But I also suspect there's going to be more types of modules as well, like entertainment areas, like perhaps pools and so on, this, that, and the other.
Really? I never thought of that. So you can get the higher class missions, so higher paying missions. Yeah.
Yeah, I suspect that's going to be the case. But like I said, I literally just thought of that this second.
Knowing me, I'd go somewhere, threaten them to blow them out the airlock if they don't pay me more money.
Yeah, well, obviously you'd do that.
I don't know. Do you think it'll be interesting, or do you think it's just another boring edition, or what do you reckon, guys?
I think it depends on how well it's going to be implemented, really.
What about you, Obsidian?
I mean,
are you there, Obsidian? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
I think you drifted off.
I did. I was nodding off there. No, I think they've got a lot of potential. They could quite easily be just some more cargo missions, like a lot of people are saying. But I think they've got a lot of potential to be more than that, especially with different grades of cabins there. If we take some slaves just in stasis, then yeah, that's probably we're just treating them like cargo.
Yeah,
but then,
well, I suspect that's going to change the way we deal with slave trading as well. Like you'll have to have life support for them and so on.
Yeah, going to make it a bit more significant. Then, of course, Frontier are asking for destinations, aren't they? Tourist destinations on the forums at the moment.
That they are. And I do believe you had a good number of places that you'd like to go and see.
Yeah, so rather than, hopefully it's not just a case of going there and coming back again, but, touring the people around those destinations.
Obsidian.
Oh yeah, he's taken to Sagittarius, eh?
Go there and drop them in the black hole.
As long as you can eject them, I will also go there.
Yeah. I think it's got quite a lot of potential for good variety.
Yeah, no, they were talking about like the passengers would be able to kind of offer you missions and so on as you're flying them around. Like, oh, I've changed my mind because I'm a rich daddy's boy or mummy's girl or something. Go take me over to that system because I'm demanding it, and you get to choose whether or not to do it. Kind of thing. That'd be interesting. But that also raises the idea of later on down the line as to whether or not you're going to have people that get onto your ship as passengers and they end up trying to take over your ship. That'd be interesting.
Mutinies.
Yeah, mutinies, and it's like changing the way of piracy and so on. I mean, like eventually,
but it's confirmed you will not be able to take any player as passenger. It's confirmed. It's not happening. Multi-crew is different, but passengers, no, it's not happening. So you can forget about passengers.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of players and so on, but I was thinking like changing the way piracy works. Like imagine if the pirates actually managed to send like boarding craft over to your ship. Because I can't imagine that that's not a thing that would ever be put into the game.
After walking around spaceship stations, yeah.
Obviously
Season 3 or 4. Yeah. But not before.
I don't think we've said that for a long time.
It's too far away, yeah.
Yeah, no. I can dream.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Walking around just shipping stations. That'd be cool.
If you ask me, they should start fixing current stuff with these materials, with accessibility, where to find random roles these engineer, also AI.
Removing power play, fixing it up.
Yeah, power play wings, exactly. And then, because if they release, imagine, we have this game now. They release now passenger mission. Change nothing. Really, change nothing. This is my bottom line.
Well, as long as passenger missions don't end up being just another kind of way of doing cargo runs, like another way of trading, like take these passengers from here to here, that's just glorified trading.
Well, that's what I'm thinking it's going to be, unfortunately. I mean, I'm hoping that I'm wrong, and hopefully they might expand that, but I'm trying to think logically.
I'm thinking it might. Yeah, I'm thinking it might be interesting to have, like, take them to certain areas and, like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If you get them closer to certain kind of rarer areas, like if you get them close to a black hole or something, they will be more excited. Or if you get them close to certain,
you know what they should do? They should do passenger mission races where we take same mission and just race. There are checkpoints like 50 light years, one system, and we go to distant star and who first.
Right.
Because probably that's how it be. It will send you on wild goose chase overall galaxy. Like go there, sit for 5 minutes, go there, sit for 5 minutes, come back and get your million.
All right.
I think they're
so something like.
I think they're also going to do like you got to go to certain places on planets and you've got to hang
with Orca.
Yeah, with Orca or something, and you hang over that certain spot for a period of time, and then you get money for it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, it's same as it doesn't matter if it's planet or it's distant space object like star or some base, maybe some engineer base or some nebula. I wonder why exploration missions are still not in the game. Why?
Oh, that I'll never understand.
Yeah, so many explorers, and it's easy to implement. Just generate missions to some distance. make some sense. As there's something interesting going on, we pick the signal. Please go and explore this system for us. Why not?
Or go explore 5 systems in the Coalsack Nebula and report your findings. And I think that'd be good. But yeah, I don't know why they haven't made those.
I think it'd be amusing to have like passengers that are like thrill seekers that really want to go and see like conflict systems. Black holes.
No. They should go to conflict zones and survive there for a minute.
Oh yeah,
Take a side and survive for a minute in Orca. That's actually how it's tried.
Yeah, but then having things like having things like canyon runs and so on, like people that want to see this kind of thing, doing a canyon run in Orca at like top speed.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
An
Orca with dirty drives doing a canyon run.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be terrible. But then Red X is talking about like the idea of being able to like smuggle in like important people like diplomats and so on into stations and so on that influence these faction states and so on. That'd be interesting.
Oh, that's an idea. That's a good one.
Aye.
Or
so just
transporting troops, perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be interesting as well, because that'd actually kind of work in with the idea of ship launch fighters as well. We could kind of go and do ground assaults and so on, taking troops to a certain system.
Take certain troops, and it increases maybe the influence on that system by a significant amount.
That could actually be part of naval ranking progression.
Yeah, absolutely.
That could very well be.
Or for Empire or for Alliance, whatever will be implemented.
I like that.
Such missions.
Google Superstar said, "Why do the engineer faces look so depressive?" I agree.
Well, apparently, I take no responsibility for this, although apparently people seem to think that Todd the Blaster McQuinn looks like me. Purely coincidence.
It does a bit, I guess.
I don't know. I don't see it, but then again, I look at my own ugly mug in the mirror all the time, and I don't really see the thing. Because plus, I've got better hair.
Arguably.
Have you ever gave a thought about passenger missions? What you would like to see? What kind of passenger missions? You started this.
The tourism ones.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Go.
I feel if they're tourist missions, or these tourist destinations they're asking us to go to, or asking us to submit, I'd like to see them more than just go there and then come back. That would seem a little bit pointless, really,
but what can you suggest?
Well,
what would you like to see? Yeah.
If you're going to a specific system, then take them to locations that are perhaps interesting. Just even if it's only to put a slight variation into the missions, get close to a gas giant, as someone suggested, find a certain type of ice ring. Maybe the passenger's asking to see a certain type of thing. Take me to an ice ring in a certain nebula. And so you go and do that. And then when you're there, they might say, right, now I've seen that. Could you get me a bit closer to the gas giant?
Right. I mean,
that's
the
sort of thing
as well that we're going to be
getting. May ask to see.
Yeah, let's not forget we're supposed to be getting lava and volcanism worlds in this season of updates as well.
Oh, Mark O'Sullivan said you could use your orca and turn it into a wedding barge. Oh, God, no.
But I do suspect as well that with having these passenger missions, that tourist systems may play a little bit more of a key part in proceedings.
You know what passenger mission actually I would like to see different kind, not just one deliver and show, but also one's very risky, like you said, troops. But I would thinking maybe really smuggling some politician or something like that, senator, and this would generate huge enemies. Of course, there should be a huge reward if you succeed, but also it should be kind of hard. But the only problem is very easy to run in Orca, so there is nothing that can kill Orca. Nothing.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking if you need to do like smuggling missions like that, orcas may be a little bit too kind of obvious for these kind of things. Like you'd have to use things like eagles or vultures or something like this, smaller ships that would not be noticed as much.
Yeah, like a Cobra or something. Something really fast.
Corvette is best, or Imperial Cutter. It's best smuggling ship in the world.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not D-rated, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
As
back
long
in
as
a
you have
moment.
mines, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, if you get scanned and they find this person on there, you'd obviously get a bounty on your head and like
You can eject him before
so
scan
many.
ends.
It's like, oh sorry,
If
we're
you're
being scanned.
scared.
Goodbye,
Yep.
Senator.
You know how these smugglers, they drop all stuff in water and then come back and take up. So you just eject it and then scoop when scan is completed.
Oh yeah, I'll be back in a moment. I just need to go to the.
So, what do you guys think of anything else? What else have they said into the latest amount of changes? I haven't had a really good look through it yet.
No, sorry, you broke away. What you said?
Sorry. What else have you guys noticed in the next changelog that's coming up? Because I haven't really read all of it yet. I haven't had the time.
I also did not read. I'm busy with this changelog, current changelog.
Yeah.
I just
Too many-
unlocked Last
too many.
Engineer. Yeah. I tried it all. So yeah, I can pretty much answer all questions about engineers now, more or
Well,
less.
Well, okay. Well, let's put that question out there. Anybody got any specific questions about engineers that they'd like to ask Kornelius?
Any questions? Not necessarily about engineers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
But the thing that bugs me a little, or even not a little, is that we have 11 weapons and only one we can get to grade 5 multi-cannons.
But that's probably,
I don't know why this was.
But that's probably because there's not all the engineers have been discovered yet. So there could
No,
be
it's obviously, but still, it's funny.
yeah.
I doubt they are in the game now. They will be in the game, but not now.
Either that, or what they're doing is trying to limit the amount of weapons we can upgrade, or otherwise things are just going to get out of hand. People are going to be running around with, modded level 5 plasma accelerators and beam weapons, and you know what I mean. It might just get a bit too.
You know
crazy.
that advanced plasma got nerfed.
Yeah, advanced plasma did get nerfed. I was never a big fan of it to begin with, to be honest. So
I did not try modded pack hounds actually. I wanted, but I need to join Powerplay. I was thinking because they have nice special abilities, missiles, thermal cascade, and this module damaging crazy. I think Chaos Wolf tried Packhound. When he comes back, he can.
Well, initially they
Yes, I am back, and I did try pack hounds on the beta server. I've not tried them on the live server.
With special abilities, or just pack hounds.
The pack hound, the special abilities that I got were basically putting more heat on the.
Oh yeah, and how it worked.
It worked perfectly well. The only problem was my aim wasn't that great, and I kept hitting my wingman more than the targets, and he wasn't very happy about it.
You can't aim back hound.
Oh, I know. It's just the fact that
you
he
can
was
shoot
jumping
it.
off
That's
ahead
it.
of me.
You just close your eyes, pull
Yeah.
the trigger, and pray to
Yeah.
God something hits.
By the way, you know
no,
that you can hit yourself by your own torpedo, so be careful. If you shoot torpedo and enemy runs away, it will turn around and hit you. So be careful.
Yeah, I never had that problem, although I did run into my own one by boosting too fast. But then again, I was in a Eagle with like over 700, 800 meters per second boost range.
Yeah, but torpedo speed is 150 meters per second. You can fly backwards in cutter and torpedo will never hit you.
Yeah, I thought it was 250.
No, 150.
I'm wondering, this is something I haven't tried ever since engineers. I wonder if the pack hounds would be good against surface targets, like surface bases now, because since they've got
They're seeker missiles.
But you can dumbfire them though, can't you?
I don't know. I've never actually tried.
I can't remember, to be
perfectly
honest. I only tried them such a long time ago. I can't remember now.
Yeah, Google Superstar is saying that he wants a autopilot feature in the game, but somehow I don't think that's not going to happen.
No. What's the point in playing? But yeah, I mean, I can understand on those long super cruises.
Yeah, no, I mean, they did have an autopilot feature in Frontier Elite 2, but not here. But then again, we have much better ways of actually controlling the game. Like we've got HOTAS, we've got mouse and keyboard. I mean, back then it was
Elite 2, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could make things faster, yes.
Okay, so Josh Hill just said no seekers don't fire unless locked on. Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't think they did.
Yeah, that's another problem I have with engineers is attacking bases. I've been trying to find good ways of doing like what I used to do, except there's some of the bases are just too ridiculously hard, especially if you get the ships constantly respawning on top of you. But
Yeah,
and you can't even lock onto the ground targets unless you're like 700 meters away from them. And it's a bit frustrating, to be honest. I think they're trying to push us into the SRV, which I don't like.
well, we all know why you don't like that. You're not very good at driving.
That's true.
I see Malkavian, I think his name is, just said in the comments something regarding passenger missions, how would be a nice idea for when bounty hunting, if we go after a particular target, rather than killing them, we could capture them for a greater bonus, or that could be the mission itself.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me, kind of thing.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, that would be good. That if with passenger missions and so on, they did have the option to eject out of the ship, because when the ship explodes, we do hear the eject, eject, eject. If they actually did eject, we could scoop them up and then just go, "Oi, here you go, local forces. Where's me bonus?"
I'm just imagining doing that out of a 747. I don't know why that just popped into my head. You eject out of the 747 as a passenger.
Oh yeah. Well, I suppose you could either turn them in or just drop them into a star or something. Watch them fizzle out.
Yeah, scoop them up in the cargo hold and take them to a high G world and just fly a lot.
Oh yeah.
The service and just release the cargo.
Or do a bouncing bomb. Doing, 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 doing.
Watch them bounce into one of the buildings at the station.
Yeah, Simon Everett, me and some of the Wulff pack were talking about multi-crew SRVs, like having a tank SRV, like 2 crew, 1 for the gun and 1 for driving. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see like a bigger, like assault SRVs that are maybe much slower, but much more heavily armed and defended, and that would make doing base assaults a lot more fun.
Yeah, because the one we've got currently is more like an exploratory SRV. It's very lightly armored. It damages like really easily. It seems to damage a lot more easily than it used to. I don't know if that's
Give
just
me
me.
engineer with upgrade for landing gear to wheels, and I will drive my Corvette.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Tank tracks on my Corvette. That's what I want.
And you don't need any SRVs with multi-crew. You'll have already multi-crew SRV called Corvette.
It's like, yes, let me just name my Corvette Optimus Prime.
That's it.
Yeah, they did say that there's going to be no multi-crew SRV, but we can dream.
I wonder how the multi-crew will implement, because if there will be no new ships on existing ship, what can you offer to players to do? Nothing.
It would be interesting to have like a cluster ship or something, one that can actually like separate into separate ships. But obviously with the multi-crew, we're going to be having like, they're going to be able to launch off in the fighters. They're going to be able to take control of turrets. But if that's the case, I really, really, really want to have bubble turrets.
If they want to make multi-crew, ship-launched fighters, if they want to make ship-launched fighters interesting, they should allow us to carry Vulture, because that's insane ship.
Oh, wow.
That would make insane fights. I would fly Vulture, definitely. I like Vulture.
Vulture's a good
ship. If we can have, because, even with those Federal fighters and Eagles, Sidewinders, it will be just small ship flying nearby, but Vulture, it's a threat. It's a serious threat.
It's a hell of a threat. Malloud's also saying that it'd be nice to have outfitting for an SRV, like being able to change the weapons, or maybe even being able to upgrade the armor, and so on.
I hope for ship-launched fighters we will have outfitting and upgrading.
Oh, I hope so. Because we've currently got outfitting for the... Well, technically we've got a limited kind of outfitting for the CQC, so I suspect that's going to be possible in the ship-launched fighters. We're not just going to have like a stock Condor, a stock Imperial fighter, and just have to send them out and go, oh, right, okay, those are out. They're going to take, they're basically going to take attention off me for like 10 seconds before they get killed and allow me to get jumped away. It's like a free get out of jail, going to get a get out of jail free card like once or twice. But I wonder whether you will actually be able to jump out of system if you do launch one of your ship launch fighters while it's still alive, or whether you're going to be locked to it.
I think what you'd have to do is like recall the ships, like, retract weapons, and then you'd be able to jump. Possibly. I'm just making a guess there, but that's how I would see it happen.
So basically, you need to disable fighter with, in example, 4 shell cannons, just send him away, and the big ship will never be able to jump. Wow, good to know.
That would be hilarious, but I somehow don't think that a small cannon is going to knock a big ship out the way. I do believe that scales at least somewhat.
No, I mean knock small ship out of the way.
Yeah, so
doesn't matter which ship is separated. Doesn't matter. But you can knock any ship now, and ship launched fighters will come for current ships. So I was knocked like 50 kilometers away in several seconds. Imperial Clipper.
Yeah, but that was bugged, wasn't it?
No, why? Why bugged?
Oh, I thought that was bugged. I thought they had a bug initially.
Well, let's talk about the most
of bugs.
We can always talk about the most current bug that makes me laugh is the fact that you've now got infinite multi-cannon.
Or the Galaxy map which does not, or Galaxy maps that does not filter correctly states. We have these materials which we should have to find them in conflict zones, in outbreak, but we can't see them correctly in Galaxy map.
Yeah, it's not something I've noticed much because I'm not using the Galaxy map all that much for looking for states. I still use it mainly for looking for star classes.
Conflict zones, it was so much clicking just to check if that's really conflict zones there. 90% of the times there was no conflict zone.
Oh, really? I haven't come across that one yet. The only bug I've been really facing is when no SRVs, when you select the ground mission, you go to the location and there's no SRVs that you're meant to destroy. Sorry, skimmers, when you're supposed to kill skimmers at a ground settlement and you get there and there's no skimmers.
I was about to say, if you're flying to a settlement and there's no SRV in your ship, isn't that player error?
Yeah, which I've done on a few occasions.
I think we've all done that on more than a few occasions.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing when you land and you go to deploy your SRV and you're wondering, why won't it deploy?
Yes, and apparently the docking computer is a bit screwed again. I don't know. I've stopped using docking computers completely now.
Yeah, I don't use them. It takes up too much space now. Oh, that's something I would love to see, is where you can merge 2 module items into one module. So you know, you've got Advanced Discovery Scanner and Planetary Surface Scanner. But I know they're 2 Class 1 modules. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could put 2 of them into a Class 3 slot? So you have to sacrifice one slot. This. Yeah, so I'd really like that because I hate wasting 2 Class 3 slots on a planetary surface scanner and an advanced discovery scanner.
Yeah, that would kind of passively unnerf the Downback Explorer as well a little bit, because ever since Horizons came out, the Downback Explorer kind of got like a bit of a passive nerf, because it's only got a set limited amount of internals, and you can't take both a autofield maintenance and a planetary vehicle hangar.
Yeah,
because you just don't have the space for it. But if you could actually go and double those up into a Class 3, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
that was one of the ideas. That was one of a few of the ideas are in the wild cards, is like having a joint one of those. But it would be nice to have.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see if ability to carry core modules in your internal compartments, because we need to upgrade ships, and we can carry like Class 5 thrusters and Class 5 internal compartments. Go to engineer and upgrade them.
If we could use them. Yeah,
because there are so many modules we can upgrade.
Yeah, it would be interesting if we could. It would be interesting if we could carry them as cargo, although we'd have to have certain ships to be able to do it. Like, I can't imagine you'd be able to carry a Class 5 internal module in a Type 6, let's say.
No, but
It doesn't matter how, but yeah, it's just the idea that you buy 3 thrusters, different class, go there and upgrade them all without need to fly these 500 light years back and forth every single time.
But I know the argument they'll use against that. They'll say, well, no, they need to adjust the engine to your ship. They merge the engine to your ship. It's not just done to the engine.
No, but internal compartments is just internal compartments. It's not core anymore. It's just a name.
No, I know.
Class 5, it's just a name and list.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but they'll say they'll need the ship and the engine to do the modification. Because they merge the modification with the ship and the engine, not just the engine. I bet you that's the excuse that they would use.
Yeah, although you can actually sell, as it currently stands, you can then sell the module and buy it back on another ship.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. That blows my argument out of the water.
Yeah, no, I wasn't attempting to blow your argument out of the water. I just wanted to point that out.
Look, I'd be happy if you could do that. Then I'd take all my engine modules from all my smaller ships in my cutter, get them all upgraded, and bring them all back and install them in on all my ships. I'd be wrapped.
Aye, and then imagine if you could get the ability to actually have a player-generated market, and then you could actually just buy all these things, modify them up, and then sell them off at this particular
I would
market.
do that.
If they,
I could get some modules, because I have a lot of unused modules. I can't do anything with them. Well, I ranked up or other stuff.
They will never.
Sometimes you get very good.
You have a bit more of an ability to do this, because how many billions have you got now?
Quite a lot, yeah. But I did not do anything you can't do. It just takes time.
Oh, I know.
Like I said, 50 mil per hour. Just go and get it. In a month, you should have like 5 billion. So it's only your excuse not to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm not even saying this. It's just if things seem a little bit too easy for me, I like to handicap myself a little.
I just don't think they'll ever introduce a player economy. I wish they would. Then explorers could go.
I also wish,
go off and get information, materials, and then sell them on to other players. Other players could get modules upgraded, then go and sell them. It would introduce a fantastic dynamic to the game. But there are
it definitely would.
But there are there are negative sides to that. Then you get people,
obviously.
Gold farmers.
Everything
coming
is negative.
Then you'll have gold farmers coming in, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I would love to see it, but not if the negativity outweighs the positives.
Yeah, no, I think it will be nice as well if we did have this player-driven economy, that it was limited, perhaps to. Because we were talking about this in the Wulff Pack, and I do think that it would be nice to have it limited to a system that you kind of have to have a permit for, like maybe even Founders World, because then at that point you would have had to have worked through a good amount of the game before you get the ability or even the privilege to be able to get access to this.
Or you could have like a reputation for using the market, and if you abuse the market, then your reputation goes down until you're kicked out of the market. I mean, there's probably ways of doing it, but like this is all pie in the sky kind of stuff. I don't see it happening anytime soon, but I wish it would.
And Daniel Varano, yes, we did talk about the AI already. AI,
because it will solve a lot of problems. There are people who don't like to drive around or do stuff or collect materials. They want just to go and buy them and play and enjoy the game.
Yes.
There are players who like to search and craft and roll these modules, search for stuff, and they know best places and fastest way to get this. So they enjoy this process. Others hate this. Why?
And why can't
you can't?
And why can't they be rewarded for that activity? Some people love going off and scouring a moon looking for materials, and that's their thing. So why shouldn't they be rewarded for doing that? That's what I agree.
And why should they fight, an example, if they don't want? Why they should get other loot from combat ships? They can just buy it or trade. And people won't be leaving because there is no way to obtain these modules, only grinding, insane grinding, and random and luck. But if you see a module in shop or whatever, how you sell it, you already see all stats and you know what you are paying for.
Yeah, exactly. Because then if you could can have a specific, even if the prices for said Yeah. Even if you've got like a frameshift drive that you want to sell at the said market, if it is a set price for whatever the stats are for it. But like I said, if you have it limited to, let's say, Founders World, then you'll have to have played through a good amount of the game to get the access to doing this. And the people that have access to Founders World will generally have the money to be able to do this. And because it won't be cheap. But then if you're wanting to just kind of bypass all the grinding and all the grinding, but all the searching for things and so on, then it should come at a heavy cost. At least financially speaking, and then you have to specifically spend certain amounts of money, and then having it at Shinarata Desro or Founders World would make sense, because to have access to that, you have to have at least a decent amount of money behind you.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit over enthusiastic about things because I'm currently on my like 3rd or 4th beer right now. Yeah, I haven't drunk properly for a long ass time. Don't judge me.
Too late, judged.
Yeah, I try not to drink so much now. Probably shows.
I try to reduce my drinking when playing Elite, that's for sure. So I've crashed into one too many. Well, I did it the other day. I was in my Imperial Cutter and I was on a high G world, which I completely forgot about. And I had a little bit too much to drink, and I'm coming in a little too hot and smashing the ground, and there's just $30 million rebuy. And lost all my missions, about 30 million in missions.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Speaking about high G worlds, is it just me, or is it between beta and live has the gravity of the Farseer Incorporated planet actually gone down? Because I'm pretty sure it was 1.3 Gs in beta. And it's like less than 1 G now. Or is that just me being a complete and utter pleb?
I really don't know.
I know you don't know because you didn't have access to the beta as much as the rest of us did.
Not at all. I think Obsidian's
I was busy trying stuff. I did not land much. I didn't even drive around at all.
Yeah, no, I spent most of the time just buying fish, at least after the first update where they changed it to, yes, we are the engineers and we will modify for fish kind of thing. And I just spent more time just trying to get the best rolls out of ships. And we kind of took it for granted at that point, especially as us. So I think our views are somewhat skewed by how easy it was on the beta when we had access to it.
I already said it'll be a problem to get what you want. I said that from day one. Because I've seen how many rolls I needed to make, even with fish.
Oh, yes.
It's all about luck in the end. However, it's not completely random in sense that if there's something very good and something very bad, the better you have the good one, the worse you have bad ones. So it's kind of balanced still. For weapons, it's hardest. Weapons really are hard.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're going to start. I think with the changes coming, that's going to be a bit easier at least. I hope.
Yeah, I may have got completely misinformed and misconfused, drink talking, about the gravity on Farseering. So that's what a lot of people are saying, is I'm a complete idiot, which is not really surprising. You've seen my video. You
I have video Farseer. I need to check my video from beta.
Yeah, I need to go and check this as well myself now.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Maybe me.
Do we have anything else we want to talk about, or should we start wrapping it up? Or
did we get presents?
Oh yeah, totally. Everyone's getting fish.
Oh, fish!
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh.
But judging from how many players are online from my friends list, I would say that from that perspective, time sync from tier 1, I see much more players online now. It used to be maybe 4, 6 every evening. Now I see at least 15, 20 every evening. Same friends list, more or less. So, but same time, I've seen a lot of players telling that they are leaving, they can't stand it, and they are not returning until Frontier fix it.
That's what I've come across. I've got a lot of people
that
I
I've
know
who
have left.
bit of that myself, because I've just recently gone and swapped. Sorry, I've just recently gone and swapped private groups because we originally had my personal private group, the Chaos Wulff private group, but we've kind of disbanded that now. We have the Wolves of Jonai private group. We have a lot fewer players on that at the moment, but then again, it might just be that not enough people have actually heard the changes and so on yet. So it could just be that, or it could just be that a lot of people have actually left. I don't know yet, really.
When you buy Space Sim, you want to fly it. That's the problem. If you introduce something like MMO grinding to Space Sims, you need to give alternative way of obtaining these all. That's the rule. Or otherwise, you will scare a lot of people away. And you need to give meaningful gameplay content. If that's missing, everybody just disappears. Many of my friends just stop playing this game, sadly.
Yeah.
And
I ask them why. They just say, don't like anymore.
Yeah, and as Paul McLean keeps saying that, obviously we need a toilet on our ship. I don't know why he's been going on about this. I think he's mentioned it like about 7 or 8 times during this stream.
I have a jacuzzi in the FDL.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
I've got a full Emperor suite.
I use a jacuzzi for everything, even the toilet. The bubbles hide it. Oh, that's a good point. How do you feel what happened in the dangerous games?
In the dangerous games?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be a little bit biased because I'm the only one here that actually really kind of had anything really to gain at that point.
Excuse me, so did I. I was helping Adele's.
Doesn't matter. They don't matter.
They don't matter.
No, they're great guys. But I really wanted to get my face in the game. I mean, I'd love to still have that, but yeah, I kind of at the end of the day, I kind of did overestimate my own ability to pull people in.
Yeah, I think the Russians disagreed with you and didn't want to see your face in the game.
Yeah, they
what we didn't discuss actually. We missed one crucial point of discussion about engineers. Yeah, from my perspective, I think. What do you think of gameplay? I mean, we have materials now, loot, and different ways of obtaining them. But what do you say about scanning ships in Supercruise basic scans or scanning high energy wakes with your friendship drive wake scanner?
Yeah,
is this good gameplay content, or is just using something just for the sake of using it?
The scanning wakes annoys me. The scanning of the wakes.
That's just artificially dragging things out because you have to specifically buy a wake scanner for that.
Yeah.
And up until now, the wake scanner has been virtually useless. So if something gets away, you generally don't think about following it.
No, well, you can't, especially in a combat ship, because you haven't got the jump range. Well, that's another story.
I like that you are forced to do different activities. That's good. But at the same time, driving SRV even more, it's not a gameplay addition at all. There should be more alternative ways of obtaining different stuff. So I really hope Frontier will, in next batch, make these rare materials available not only on planet surfaces, not only on data point scans. We have missions, yeah, but the missions very random. One day you can see what you need, next day you can't have anything.
Well, that's why I've just said screw it, and I've just jumped into my cutter and I'm just doing Ceos runs at the moment and Sothis runs, and I'm getting a lot of
my friend did exactly the same. He said, screw it all, I don't want to. I need money. And jumped and started.
Oh, I need money
and he made 100 mil in 2 hours. 100
Oh, yeah,
mil.
It's easily done. I'm earning about
it's easy.
Anywhere between 40 to 60 million per run.
Yeah.
So the money's good, but what I also
found, everyone who complains about money and insurance, just go to CEO Sothis and just earn your money. It's easy. Well, you need to be high ranked probably. I don't know how it works now. Those missions are unlocked for low ranked traders and smugglers or not?
Yeah, they are still unlocked for lower ranked traders, I think. Anyway.
All they care is your rank, your reputation with factions, yeah?
Yeah, if you've got a good reputation.
So it doesn't matter if you're elite or not elite.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Good.
Yeah, they're more recommendations than actual rules now.
True.
So just go and get
money. You guys can hear me now. Apparently I've been talking and no one's been able to hear me.
Oh, no. Really?
Oh, right, now we can hear you.
We thought we dropped.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
I thought you're getting really rude. You're not listening to anything.
No, I'll be honest, I thought you were just being an antisocial arsehole right now.
Yeah. I've refreshed Discord anyway, so apparently that's what was needed.
Yeah, no, I think it might be the fact that the server is a good distance away from both me and you.
Well, I'm further away than any of yous.
Oh well, talking to myself
Well,
the whole time.
At least your internet's
So
better than
Obsidian.
mine, Vindicator.
So, yeah. What were you going to say, Cornelius? Sorry.
No, I was wondering, Obsidian, what you were saying.
I've been saying loads of things.
Like what? Give us an example.
Yeah.
We want to know.
I was talking about the gravity on the planet. Right from about then, I think it started. The gravity on Farseer. I mentioned something
okay.
since then.
Yeah, what were you saying about that then? Because I'm curious now, because I want to know if I'm going crazy or
I
not.
checked on YouTube. It was 0.09 G.
That I am going crazy. What the hell am I
You're
thinking
going
about
crazy.
Maybe
Strange.
not
nothing new then.
You mixed.
Straight
Is that the-
jackets on standby.
No,
Yeah, the men in white jackets. Then, no, the men in white jackets. Then breaking down the door.
I was going to say a moment ago as well about Cornelius's point on gameplay. I think there's a lot that could be done with that over the coming months or coming years or however Frontier want to work that, because at the moment, like to collect material, for example, it's just driving around on a planet, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think they're adding a bit more in there with the upcoming surface scanner, so hopefully it'll become a
I
bit
do
more
think
gameplay
that
oriented.
later on down the line we are going to be getting more of a happy medium.
I just hope that with the introduction of aliens, they're going to finally introduce a better storyline, tie in with what's happening with the barnacles and the other bits and pieces. You know, we finally start getting some progress of what's happening with all that, because it's just
I'm still convinced that we're going to be getting. I'm still convinced we're going to be getting 2 alien species, because I'm still convinced that the alien artifacts and the barnacles are not from the same species.
Well,
There's an unknown probe now, isn't there?
Well,
Have you heard
There's
about
a
that?
what?
Probe. That's in addition to the unknown
An unknown
artifact.
probe.
Unknown probe, yeah.
That
Yeah,
thing can stay away from my backside.
well, apparently there is stuff out there that we haven't found yet. Apparently they're saying there's definitely stuff out there that no one has discovered yet, but it is in the game at the moment. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it was only on Friday they come across
billion
the
star systems. I'm not surprised.
I think it was on Friday they come across the unknown probe, but there's no footage or screenshots of it yet. But a few posts on the forums from Canon Research who've seen it.
Oh, hang on, is this another one? I remember the
unknown, because we got the unknown artifact, haven't we? Which is the one we've all seen. And then they got
there's
the
also the missing that
barnacles.
we haven't come across yet.
Haven't come across the missing, but they've found an unknown probe now, and the probe is something different to the artifact.
Oh, right. Okay. So do we know if it's different to the artifact, as in a different species, potentially different type of technology?
Well, we haven't got a screenshot of it yet, but I'll put a link there.
Until that.
I can't put a link in there.
If you send me the link, I might be able to put it into
Let me send you the link and you can post it. It just goes to the forum post where we're talking about it.
All right, well, you guys keep talking. I'll try and put this into the game. Into the live stream.
The chat.
To the chat. I'm drunk too, so.
But apparently it's well guarded at the moment in a convoy, so people are having trouble getting out.
No, I can't find a picture of it though. Is it there?
No, there's no pictures.
There's a picture yet.
No pictures, no footage. So a couple of people have nearly got it or managed to get it out. I think one person scooped it, and then when they got out, it wasn't in their cargo hold, so they either missed it or it disappeared, glitched.
I suspect it potentially disappeared. Oh no, it's a Romulan.
Yeah.
Where's the probe, Tessie? I hope it's not in my ass.
Is there a slight buzzing sensation where you're sitting down?
There's a buzzing sensation, but I think that's more to do with the 4 beers that I've had now. Yes, I'm a cheap date. Leave me alone. Don't judge me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find out.
You can judge me if you want.
Oh, we do. Don't worry. Everyone does. It's okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Have we got anything else we'd like to discuss? I'm going to take that as a no. Cornelius?
None really. Anybody tried burst laser huge, because I did not get.
No, I haven't had the chance. A couple of my.
Yeah, I tried it. I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence. I I think I still prefer the pulses, to be honest. But let me do more testing first.
But you know what's... but the problem is we don't have grade 5 upgrades for these weapons, so we can't really decide now.
No, but I think they'll come. I think they'll come, though.
They come, but yeah.
Yeah, no, a couple of my pack members have actually gone and checked them out, but they say that, yes, they did do more damage than the pulses, but not enough to justify the extra power gains and so on. So they are a bit of a kind of a soggy fart.
Well, because they drain the capacitor much more than the pulses. They're almost like beams, I found.
Apparently.
Well, not as bad as beams, but getting there.
To interrupt you guys there, so looking on that forum thread there, and apparently there is some footage now of the unknown probe.
All right.
Looks like it's related to the artifact, but it's different.
All right, okay.
Do you want me to paste the link again?
Oh, no, I've got it there. Just trying to find it.
There it goes.
Yeah, it does look very different.
Video. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, hang on.
Probably related to whoever made the first one, though, by the looks of it. It looks similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks very similar to the unknown artifact, although it is of a different colour.
I'm just going to do a screen grab of this, and then I'll try to import it into the stream.
And it seems to have a very different sound to the unknown artifact as well. It sounds more like a whale than anything else, much higher pitch. And instead of it being like a blue coloration, it's more of like a salmony pink coloration.
I'm asking for a link. Vindicator's just going to post a link in a moment.
Yeah, I'm just doing a screenshot of it and
just sorting that out.
So just bear with me, guys.
It is space fruit.
Yeah, it does. It looks That's it.
It does look more like a space pomegranate. Yeah, I do agree with you. I'll definitely be watching that myself and potentially doing a video on it myself. Yeah, it sounds like space whales. It's kind of reminding me of one of those Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was because I was never that big on Star Trek.
I think it was the fourth one.
Made that many?
God knows how many they made. I stopped watching them in the end. They made loads.
No, I'm more of a Star Wars kind of guy.
This is a place for invasion.
Okay, it should be showing up on the stream now. I've only got a still image of it, so...
Yeah, I can't see it as yet because then again, we're talking live on... There's a bit of a delay.
Obviously, I won't be able to hear the sound of it on the stream, but it's
I
similar
wonder
to
how big it is, actually.
Oh, right,
no reference mark. It's like a canister, something like that, yeah?
Yeah, I suspect it's going to be very similarly sized.
Yeah, it looks like a pregnant version of it.
I suspect it's going to be very similarly sized to the unknown artifact because you're still going to have to be able to scoop it. So it's still going to be around about a canister size. Yeah.
This also will scan you because unknown artifact scans you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
On about 3 minutes on the video I've got here, you can see the size of it in relation to a ship, and it's about the size of a canister.
Yeah, it definitely looks that big. What was the ship they were using? I didn't actually notice that. Let's go back and have a look.
I'm thinking it's a Thargoid impregnation device. I'm staying clear away from them.
Yeah.
Your ship.
Stay now. Also cleared from Obsidian.
Yeah, it looks like they were using a Federal Corvette in order to go and scoop it.
That Federal Corvette is now pregnant.
Oh no!
Beside
it is an anal probe. Yes, shoot it, kill it with fire.
Burn it with fire, chuck it into a black hole.
Ah, it's Python.
Is it a Python? Because I'm pretty sure that the angles are a little bit too
on
angular.
the left, Python on the right.
Is it? I don't know. I'll have to have another proper look. But yeah, it sounds very different. I mean, the community was able to actually go and decode something from the unknown artifact. So I'm curious to see what the community makes of the unknown probe.
But see what's I'm just hoping if it's saying something.
Yeah, I just I am foreseeing a lot of Cartman memes showing up on Twitter now. How large is it, Richard B? I suspect it's going to be roughly the same size as the unknown artifact, so about canister size, maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. Because they've kind of got limitations on that in game. Because if you have to scoop it, it still has to be roughly that size.
Yeah, true.
So,
You know what would be fun if you select it and got a message,
perhaps.
hard points deploying.
Oh, right.
You're going to look at
Target
your
hard
cargo
points
thing,
deploying.
you're going to see one probe,
Yep.
then you move, stop looking at it for a while, then you look back and then see there's 3 probes, and then start multiplying in your cargo racks.
Somebody's going to have to put the probe and an artifact right next door to each other, see what happens.
Ew.
Yeah, that might be interesting. I mean, somebody did try putting a artifact right next to the barnacle, and absolutely jack all happened. And I suspect that similarly will happen with this unknown probe and the barnacle. But whether the unknown artifact and the unknown probe, what they will do together is another issue.
Can't be good.
No, it definitely can't be good. But with this being added into the game, that, to me, that smacks even more that 1.4 is we're going to be getting alien races.
And so that's what I'm hoping for. It's a bit more of a story, something a bit more to do, something more to explore. I think that should make a big difference.
Yeah, I think we really need something to unify the players more
Yes.
together, because right now power play has been separating us all. And I do think that this will be the unifying thing.
Yes, we need a unified threat where we can all join together
Yes, we definitely do.
and take it on.
But the question is, do we think that the unknown artifacts are going to be the Thargoids, or are the barnacles the Thargoids? Because I'm still convinced that they're not from the same species.
Well, apparently there's another alien race. It's not just the Thargoids as well. I think there's more than one alien race. Not too sure.
Yes, they did say that there's going to be 2 at least.
Yeah.
Yes, Richard B, we definitely need Will Smith. Welcome to Earth. Dish. Yes, I just watched the Cinema Wins Everything Great About Independence Day.
Independence Day rocks. Has anybody seen the new one? I haven't seen it yet.
Is it out already?
Yeah, apparently it's out.
Oh, I might have to go and check that out. We don't have a link for it at the moment, Drink 15. We've got, because trying to put it into chat's a pain in the backside.
Yeah,
As is this probe, at least.
apparently. Okay, well, is there anybody out there who would like to ask any questions for us before we head off?
Yes, please ask us some questions, otherwise real life is looming over.
Yes, somebody says we'd love to see a story behind the artifacts and probes. Yes, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, and I'd like it to be something a little bit more kind of involving than, oh, we read about it in the news, this happened there,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Okay, you go to this point, kill Thargoids, collect money. I hope it's more than that.
Right, Richard B
die.
wants to know what our
That will
favourite
be
ships
the
are.
Don't die.
I
Collect
hope
money,
that will
don't
be the
die.
point.
I'd love to see. I'd love to see where trade missions, that maybe span 5,000 light years, and we got to build stations on the other side of the galaxy, and those sorts of things. I don't know,
Yeah,
and incorporate it into a big grand story.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure something of this had come along in Barnard's Loop, which they've pretty much locked off recently, haven't they?
Oh, have they locked off Barnard's Loop? I heard something about this.
The whole chunk of it, around Horsehead Nebula and a few other areas around that. There's quite a few systems that are permanently locked. So
there's one question in chat I really want to answer quite quickly, and that was from, where is it again? I'm not even clicked in. Joma Akuli? Yes, I have now finally got to Exploration Elite. So Yes. Woohoo! I finally managed it.
Somebody
And
asked.
somebody else want to know what our favourite ships are.
Federlands, Imperial, Cutter, and also the oh god, too much to drink.
Python.
Federal Corvettes.
Vulture and Cobra.
I will also say Python, Corvette
Yeah,
probably, and Vulture. These three.
Yeah, the Python's like a really great multi-role ship, especially after Engineers now, because you can get it really maneuverable now, which was its main drawback back in the day.
I find it a bit boring, to be honest, but that's just my tastes. Anyone found Jax yet? What's that?
Jax? No, we haven't found it yet. But then again, we have got 400 billion star systems to go and search now.
Oh yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on Galnet? Do you ever read it? I don't really.
No.
A little bit.
No.
It's too much
I only see the stuff that's
text.
posted in the newsletters or sometimes on the forums.
Yeah.
The only time I ever even pay attention to Galnet news is when I'm watching it on YouTube for the YouTube channel. Those guys do an amazing job.
Is it worth using Engineers to upgrade an ASP Explorer? I would say absolutely yes.
Hell yes.
I mean, the frame shift drive
Every ship.
upgrade on that is just insane.
Yeah, any ship.
You can get up to 50 light years, I think.
Any ship apart from the Cobra Mark IV.
Oh yeah, Mark IV's useless.
Yeah, the Cobra Mark IV, you do not want to bother upgrading that turd. It just makes it okay. Every other ship, you can make it outstanding in certain fields of the game. Anaconda, you can get it around about 50 light years worth of jump range.
Kid Crinkle asks, have you tried ED in VR? If so, what are your impressions? I've tried it once and it was just amazing. But this was in the DK.
I tried it once. Yeah, I tried it in the Vive at EGX and I loved it. But I think the guy that's got the most experience at this is Obsidian Ant.
Yes.
Yes, great. Really good. Not a lot you can say about it other than it's just something you need to try. If you ever get the chance,
do you think
try
it's worth the money that you spend for it though? Especially
no, I haven't got one of the new headsets. I've still got my DK2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because let's not forget
part with the money for the newer ones.
Yeah, because let's not just forget, it's not just the headset that you've got to get. You've got to make sure that your PC is up to spec. Because mine certainly isn't. Mine's more than enough to play the game and I record and edit and do everything I need. But my PC is certainly not up to spec to run VR.
You got a GTX 970?
I've got a 970. I've got an i5 processor. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. It's nowhere near good enough.
That would run a DK2. I don't know if it would run any of the newer ones, but you'd have no problem at all with the DK2.
Yeah, I'd rather go with more of the...
You'd probably be all right with a Rift and a Vive, I reckon, as long as you didn't have the settings set to max.
Isn't Logitech supposed to be bringing out a VR headset at some point in the near future? Or am I just imagining things again?
I have no idea.
What was that? Sorry?
Logitech, aren't they supposed to be bringing out a VR headset at some point in the near future? Because it seems like everyone their dog is bringing out a VR headset. I think
most of the hardware manufacturers are talking about making one.
That's what I'm sort of waiting for the next generation to come out, where it's probably going to be a bit cheaper too.
That's kind of why I haven't bought one yet. I want to see what happens next.
Yeah, Paul McLean, I have actually got the 970 OC. I wish that I'd known that the 10 series was coming out before I'd actually ordered this. But then again, I did need to upgrade my hardware for when Horizons came out, because otherwise I'd have got absolutely horrendous frame rates. And for YouTube, I really needed to upgrade.
Yes, Obsidian Ant, we heard the ice cream truck.
Yes, we heard the ice cream.
I thought
that's hungry.
Noisy. Yeah, I'll buy you all one.
Yay.
Oh, good. Does that mean I have to fly over and get it?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I suspect Obsidian has a bit further to fly than the rest of it. Not Obsidian, Vindicator. What the hell am I talking about?
I was about to say.
Then again, I suspect this is the first time people have kind of listened to me slightly inebriated.
I don't think it really makes that much difference, mate. I think it'd be the same both ways.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I've got to say, I don't notice the difference. I haven't noticed the difference yet.
Oh, well, at least I'm consistent.
All right, shall we call it a night, guys? What do you reckon? It's coming
Yeah,
up to
I think so.
It's come up to 2.5 hours.
I think we should call it a tadpole.
All right, let's call it a tadpole. Oh, thanks a lot, guys, for showing up. It's been pretty good, a lot of fun. Hope everybody who has been listening to the show has enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll see you probably next time. So thanks, guys.
It's been inebriational.
Good. It's been good,
Inspirational?
yes.
Great. Yeah, that one. It's been a pleasure.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you all later.
Yep.
Bye
Bye
bye.
then.
Yeah. Keep flying and stay shiny.